Christensen.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. Jordan-Hare Stadium on the last weekend of September. Fans have seen a lot of great players and terrific teams here. And this year, number 25 Auburn has stirred the university with a lot of promise. But tonight on their opening drive, it was Syracuse getting the turnover on Daniel Cobb, the interception.
But unfortunately on the turnover, the quarterback was roughed. And as a result, it's not going to go. Here, this is Will Hunter does a great job as he's in man-for-man coverage. Watch him extend himself, get a piece of it, and it ricochets up for the interception. But then after that, at the end of the play, the quarterback just gets absolutely pulverized, and the official throws the flag. Huge break for Auburn.
Unbelievable break to begin this game.
Wow,
Auburn is the team that's plus 11 on the turnover side of the ledger. It is 1st and 10 from the 26 for Daniel Cobb. And the Auburn Tigers wants to throw, going up top, far side, and it's incomplete. The receiver was Anthony Mix, and it looked like he had a step on the defender, but the ball was just a little bit long for him. LaTroy Oliver on the coverage. A look at Daniel Cobb out of Marietta, Georgia, and Harrison High School. Already has a degree in mass communication, a 6-year player here in the Auburn system. Started at the University of Georgia, then was at a junior college, and now at Auburn. 2nd and 10 for Auburn. The two receivers to the top of the screen. And a collision between Carnell Williams and Daniel Cobb. It's scooped up by Clifton Smith. Smith to the 30, running out of gas and knocked out of bounds. So one turnover is negated, and the second one is all go for Syracuse. Clifton Smith is the man up with the football, and the Orangemen have great field position here in the opening quarter.
And Tommy Tuberville just has to be disgusted. How could this happen? I mean, a simple handoff. Look at the collision right here between the quarterback and Williams. The ball pops free. Now Clifton Smith might go to the house. Look at this. It was, you can't tell whose fault it was, quarterback or runner, but here's Clifton Smith. Watch Scanlon try and fight off the quarterback, but give Cobb credit. He fights and fights and ends up stopping Smith before he can get in the end zone.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 17 of Auburn for R.J. Anderson. And the give is to the tailback, Walter Reyes. And it's no gain as the Auburn defensive line all over it. The key to Syracuse's run-oriented offense, R.J. Anderson, 59 yards and a touchdown against Auburn last year. Very athletic and very smart. He makes the right decisions.
And while they are certainly a strong running team, take a look at Jamel Riddle tonight, who is replacing Johnny Moran, who's been suspended for a game, averaging 32 yards per reception.
It is 2nd and 10 for Syracuse. The pitch. Reyes right side. And hit inside the 10-yard line by Carlos Dansby. It is a gain of about 8 yards. Syracuse, like Auburn, up front, they are very young and playing well. Matt Tarullo and Adam Terry are sophomores. And the center, Nick Romeo, is the man who anchors up front for Syracuse.
Last year, when DeMarco McNeil missed the game, their points against average jumped from 21 to 27. They need the big guy in the middle to stuff the running lanes.
So it's 3rd and 1 for the Orangemen. Anderson rolling left, throwing toward the end zone and over the head of his intended receiver, Walter Reyes, out of the backfield. Carlos Rogers on the coverage. The linebackers for Auburn may be the best in the SEC. Carlos Dansby is so tough. And you're talking about Mark Brown, the leading tackler for Auburn.
And in the secondary, the man that has to come up and be 8 or 9 in the box is going to be Travaris Robinson. He is going to be key to stopping the run for Auburn.
It is a 27-yard attempt by Colin Barber for Syracuse. Trying to put the Orangemen on the board here at a hostile Jordan-Hare Stadium. Here's the kick. It is up and it is good. So Syracuse has taken advantage of the early Auburn turnover. It is 3-0 here in Auburn, Alabama. Folks, the weather is warm and muggy. The rain is gone, and the orange and blue of Auburn and Syracuse is everywhere. 77 degrees, 66% humidity. The winds are calm, and Syracuse is off to a warm start. 4 plays, 8 yards, 3-0. Barber, the 27-yard field goal. The points off the turnover took 56 seconds, Todd.
Interesting the conversation that they're having now with regards to the pass protection. Normally when you see a quarterback throw the ball out of the end zone to save a sack, you think, okay, maybe that's a good play. But it was 3rd and 1. I really think that maybe if he'd have scrambled a little more, he may have come up with the first.
Rodgers and Hood are the deep men for the Auburn Tigers. And Roderick Hood will bring it out of the end zone. Going to the near side and reaching, stretching out to about the 26-yard line. Tackled by Will Hunter. Let's go to Matt Weiner in our studio right now.
All right, Jeff, Tennessee finally putting some separation between themselves and those pesky Scarlet Knights from Rutgers. Casey Clausen and Kelly Washington breaks the tackle and takes it the rest of the way. It's 28-14 Vols.
Kelly Washington calls himself the future, and tonight against Rutgers, he lives up to the moniker. Sort of. All right, 1st and 10 for Auburn. Carnell Williams taking it to the outside, cutting it in. Carnell Williams just short of the 45-yard line, tackled by O'Neal Scott. It is a gain of 18 yards and a first down for the Tigers. Daniel Cobb has been around. No quarterback controversy here. A better grasp of the offense. He was solid against Mississippi State last week. His touchdown passes really opened the running game. And
we mentioned the fact everybody's aware of Carnell Williams and all the freshman receivers, but Marcel Willis, he's their go-to guy.
1st and 10 for Auburn. Carnell again gets the call and again finds some room in the Syracuse defense. Will Hunter is there to make the stop. He is in orange territory. It is a gain of 6. The most talked about group in Auburn. They were projected to be the weak spot of the team, but no more. Ben Nowland is the anchor. He's from Florida, up front, the center.
And on the other side, Christian Ferraro is the one who had the somewhat controversial hit on the quarterback. He is the key up front to stopping the run.
2nd and 2 for Auburn. Both receivers come to the near side. And penalty marker goes flying. First.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Jack Kramer is our referee tonight. It'll go against Auburn. As far as linebackers for Syracuse, Jamil Dumas, maybe the best in a decade at Syracuse. Clifton Smith, the leading tackler for this Syracuse team. They are very aggressive.
Seems as if a lot of pressure is being put on free safety O'Neal Scott to become another Donovan Darius. He's not there yet, but they believe he can be.
So it'll be 2nd and 7 from the 46-yard line of Auburn. Cobb wants to throw and overshoots his intended target. There were about 3 receivers in that zip code. Jarris McIntyre was probably the closest receiver. Numbers on Daniel Cobb.
Very spirited quarterback battle between himself and Jason Campbell in the preseason. Campbell started 8 games last year, Cobb the rest. But they opted for Cobb because of the fact that offensive coordinator Bobby Petrino felt like he could manage the offense just a little bit better and was going to be mistake-free.
3rd and 7 for Auburn. Cobb now working out of the shotgun. Across the middle and almost intercepted. Jarris McIntyre, the receiver for Cobb, but overshot him. And the interception was almost made by Keon Walker.
I found that was strange play calls here on 2nd and 3rd down. When Carnell Williams is running as well as he is, you would think you might as well stay with it. This is a bad throw by Cobb. He's got time. He just floats it. He's lucky he didn't get that one picked.
Damon Duval, one of the best punters in college football, averaging almost 50 yards per punt. Jameel Riddle is the deep man for Syracuse. Yeah, an end-over-end punt. Loses the ball, picks it back up, and Riddle has some room. Look out! Riddle near sideline, one man to beat. Goodbye, Riddle into the end zone. Touchdown, Jameel Riddle. What a block. by Jeremiah Mason on Damon Duval, the punter. It's an 85-yard return after he couldn't handle the punt.
How many times do you see it happen, both on a kickoff and on a punt? When the guy fumbles it or bobbles a little bit, you can see people easing up just a little bit. Watch the blue shirts. They start to ease up. They're waiting for somebody else to make a tackle. Look at all those blue shirts. Now he gets to the outside, and the only guy he has to beat is the punter, and he's beaten easily thanks to Jeremiah Mason, who knocks him down. Money for Riddle.
Blocking punters is always good sport, isn't it?
Well, it also means that 86,000 suddenly have laryngitis.
And the orange looks friendly if you're Syracuse now. Colin Barber with a point after attempt. And he extends it to a 10-0 Syracuse lead here at Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Well, right at the top of the show, Jeff, we talked about the reality that special teams are going to be a big issue. Paul Pasqualone always has his teams prepared, and Jamel Riddle is able to execute 82-yard punt return for 6.
Well, the last time that an opponent returned a punt for a touchdown against Auburn was 2 years ago. Deuce McAllister, 87 yards. Jameel Riddle has done it for Syracuse as he goes the distance.
Hey, is that a song?
That was a great return.
Rocky theme in the background. Sweet.
Here's Schaefer with the kick, and Roderick Hood will take it. And he gets across the 25-yard line. Tackled by David Tyree. Here at Auburn, where tradition means so much, a changing of the guard. Here's Stacey Pace.
One of Auburn University's greatest pregame traditions is the flight of Tiger. Tiger will start in the upper deck and wind his way down to midfield. Well, this week, Tiger is ill, so it was replaced by a 4-year-old bald eagle named Spirit. And this was Spirit's very first flight here at the University of Auburn, much to the pleasure of the crowd.
It is a stirring sight in the stadium to see an American bald eagle. The chant of War Eagle can be heard. 1st and 10 for Daniel Cobb in the offense. Firing across the middle, wide open is Ronnie Brown. And Brown into Syracuse territory and more. A pickup at 29 yards, tackled by O'Neal Scott. Let's go to Matt Weiner right now.
All right, Jeff, Oregon State came into USC unbeaten, but the Trojans chipping away all day. Carson Palmer up top, pretty pass to Mike Williams. 16-yard pitch and catch, 19-0 SC.
Southern California's got a terrific team.
And kudos to my buddy Norm Chow, who's the offensive coordinator there. He's got it working down in beautiful downtown LA.
He used to be at Brigham Young University many years ago. 1st and 10. The pitch is to Carnell Williams. And Williams not going to get away from the tackle of Keon Walker. And it is a pickup of maybe a yard.
To say that Auburn is surprised to be down 10-0 at this point is not an overstatement. They've never been down this far at all during the year.
Yeah, Auburn has an 11-game winning streak in non-conference games here at home. In fact, you want to go back 22 years to 1980. They have won 29 of 30 in this stadium. They do not lose here. Auburn has 85 offensive yards. Syracuse has 8. And the Orangemen are leading 10-0. 2nd and 9. Cobb wants to throw. Has time. It's collapsing on him, and he is sacked by Louis Gachelon. Gachelon making the stop, the defensive tackle on Daniel Cobb.
Get a close look at number 99. Now, honest, folks, I didn't make this up. 35 different guys. Watch number 99 in the middle. I'm telling you for this reason. That guy right there bench presses 600 pounds. Not a guess, not one of those they guessed at it. Guys were standing there. The 6 plates, right, for you lifters at home, the 6 plates, 10-5 in the collars. Amazing.
Have you ever seen anyone do that before?
560 is the most I've ever seen. My buddy Andres Arrhenius did it.
3rd and 9 for Auburn. In trouble is Cobb. And Cobb goes down at the 39-yard line, a pickup of 5. A lot of pressure from Louis Gachelon again. And you will see the big lifter all night. He does a lot of heavy lifting inside for Syracuse.
Well, how intimidating is that if you're a guard facing up against this guy, knowing that if you go chest to chest, you don't like your chances? He's fluent in French and also an actor. He performed in Wizard of Oz and also performed in a play written by Kyle Johnson, last year's fullback.
Suffice to say, he was not one of the Munchkins in the Wizard of Oz.
Amen.
Damon Duval getting ready to punt. Jameel Riddle, that man, is deep for Syracuse. A high, towering spiral. And Riddle will call a fair catch at the 9-yard line. That is where the Orangemen will take over the football. It's a 31-yard punt by Duval. Thursday at midnight on ESPN, catch the premiere of the latest series from ESPN Original Entertainment. This season, SEC football follows the cheerleaders, students, parties, alumni, players in class, and on the practice field for the 7 days leading up to the SEC matchups every week, with an emphasis on the home team. Thursday night, see how the people of Auburn prepare for the Syracuse Orangemen to come to town. That's coming up Thursday at midnight on ESPN. 1st and 10 from the 9-yard line. Syracuse on top. Option. It is to Rhodes. And Rhodes is knocked out of bounds at the far sideline, short of the 15-yard line. Tackled by Carlos Dansby. It's a gain of 4. It'll bring up 2nd and 6.
You mentioned Kelly Washington referring to himself as the future. This guy really is the future. Folks, those numbers are for a true freshman. 5 touchdowns, averaging over 80 yards per game. In fact, they thought so highly of this young man that they went to recruit him. They offered him the vaunted number 44, worn by Jim Brown, Ernie Davis, Floyd Little, and others. He said no. He said, I wish to make my own mark.
And he certainly is doing that as a freshman. 2nd and 5 for Anderson. Here is the give up the middle. Plenty of running room for Rhodes. And he is tackled by Tavarius Robinson. It's a gain of 7 and enough for a first down.
Well, the front 7 for Auburn needs to make some adjustments, and here's why. Offensive coordinator George DeLeon is putting a number of different formations out there for them to look at, and they seem to be a little bit too concerned with the deception part of it. Instead, they're able to run between the tackles with Rhodes, and if they can continue to do that, why stop?
Auburn's defense is one, Todd, that gives up a lot of yardage, but not a lot of points. They deliver the total yards on 1st and 10. And it looks like Syracuse will burn a timeout here. R.J. Anderson will come over and talk with Paul Pasqualoni about offense. It's all Syracuse. Opening quarter from Jordan-Hare, Tommy Tuberville, and Paul Pasqualoni.
It occurs to me that one of the things that Paul Pasqualoni was probably talking to R.J. Anderson about on the sidelines, you're deep in your own territory. Don't risk audibling. Just go with the play that's called.
1st and 10 from the 21-yard line for Syracuse. Anderson wants to throw. And batted down. A fine job up front by DeMarco McNeil, 6'2", 295, the junior out of Pritchard, Alabama, who knocks down the football.
We mentioned at the top of the show how valuable he is in terms of stopping the run. If you can't get to the quarterback, they say, then jump and get in his face, and that's exactly what McNeil does. Very athletic play for the 300-pounder. As we pointed out, when he was out of the lineup last year, the team scored a few more points on him.
The Auburn Tigers. 2nd and 10. Play action. Dumping wide open for Syracuse, David Tyree. And across the 30 up to the 32-yard line, tackled by Horace Willis. It is a gain of 11 and enough for a first down.
A staple in the offense of Syracuse is the misdirection, then come with the boot. Tyree comes underneath as the wide receiver. Usually that's the fullback. See to the right of your screen, he's in motion. He comes and gets the ball. Now there's nobody waiting. That's a pretty decent open field tackle by Willis.
Sure is. 1st and 10 now. With the ball at the 31-yard line. 2 receivers to the top of the screen. And the give is to Damian Rhodes. And he will find no room at all. Hit behind the line of scrimmage. A good job by Auburn's Thomas and also Torber are there. It's a loss of 3.
Torber last week was the SEC Defensive Player of the Week. 4 tackles, 2 sacks, a caused fumble, and a fumble recovery. He is their speed rusher out to the outside. And Rhodes, as a youngster, will learn this. Of course, when he's in high school, he's faster than everybody else. Now at the Division I level, that's not the case.
Auburn's had a lot of fine defensive linemen and linebackers over the years. I think about Tracy Rocket comes to mind immediately. 2nd and 13. The pitch, the reverse. It is David Tyree. Tyree with terrific speed across the 40 and down as he hits the 41-yard line. It's a gain of 12. He'll be about a yard short of a Syracuse first down.
Now this is interesting on the reverse. We just talked about Torbor, and he holds his ground. Torbor is able to hold his ground, but the quarterback, RJ, is able to. Now watch him when he follows here, Torbor. He holds his ground. He's not fooled, but the quarterback does a great job of pushing him out so far that Tyree's able to cut underneath and get the extra yardage, setting up a third and very short.
I think we'll see a lot of reverses because of the speed of the Auburn defense tonight.
Certainly some misdirection. Absolutely.
3rd and 1. And a timeout has been taken by Auburn.
They only had 10 men on the field.
So each team has had 2 penalties. It is 10-0 Syracuse leading Auburn. We are Jordan Hare in Auburn, Alabama. Take a look at this Auburn team right now. 10 men on the field. Offensively, it seems sort of confused. Collisions in the backfield.
A little bit disjointed. I don't know if they're looking past Syracuse or what, but up to this point, they're not playing very well.
7th play of the drive. It is 3rd and 1 for Syracuse. Showing blitz is Auburn. The handoff straight ahead to Reyes, and a penalty marker is flying at the 36-yard line. Tackled by Robinson. And a motion penalty that will go against Syracuse.
I was entertained by the fact those of you who are fans in the 70s saw the wishbone. Syracuse came in with a wishbone and went with a misdirection. That play to the left halfback, who always seemed to be the star runner. Guys like Greg Pruitt and Johnny Musso. Those of you that remember those days.
Johnny Musso, there's a name.
There you go. Well, we're in Alabama. I got to mention him, don't I? Okay. Take a look at the movement. The tackle who has to pull is the one who is the guilty party. He just humps just a little bit, and they got him. That's Adam Terry.
So instead of 3rd and 1, they look at 3rd and 6.
We started. The clock man started a little bit too soon.
Jack Kramer keeping an eagle eye.
Reset the clock. 4:03.
Jack Kramer, he looks great. He's one of the best tennis players I ever saw. He was unbelievable. Whipped up on Pancho Gonzalez.
No, this is a different racket.
All right. Take a look at this defense and how dominant they have been the last 3 games. Syracuse evidently didn't read the press clippings. Not terribly intimidated, at least up to this point.
They saw this orange. They figured they were home.
Yep.
So instead of 3rd and 1, here we go.
Reset. 4:03. Clock will start on the snap.
Or maybe the Orangemen gathered themselves after the blowout of Rhode Island. Maybe that's good for what ails you.
Well, certainly any kind of win has to help you. They started the season poorly against Brigham Young in North Carolina.
Here we go, 3rd and 5. Anderson, the deep drop. And batted down, ball is up. And it is intercepted. Picked off by Derek Graves for Auburn. So the Tigers have a turnover. Each team.
Jamel Riddle, it appeared from my vantage point, had an opportunity to come in and break it up. When you get a pop-up like that, the one thing you want to do if you're on the offense is to make sure the ball hits the ground. Here you get a chance. Watch as the thing pops up. Once again, it's McNeil. It hits him on the head. It's actually going to hit him on the head. That's how low this throw is. Take a look. Boink. Wow. Hits him right on the skull. It's Torbor, rather. Now watch. Right there at the end, it appeared to me that Riddle could have got in, at least got a piece of it. Instead, Derek Graves is able to get the pick unencumbered.
Handoff is to Carnell Williams, and tackled by Jamil Dumas. It is a pickup of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Okay, I'll resist the temptation to say he used his head, but nonetheless, I do find this somewhat entertaining. Here's the pass rush. He gets up, hits him square in the forehead. That's a great shot, you guys.
You always teach in basketball the best place to throw a ball is right over someone's head.
So what they're saying now is that Torbor's got a soccer career, right? You can bounce balls off his head. Yeah.
A header leads to an interception for Auburn.
Ronaldo he ain't.
2nd and 8. Play action, good fake. Firing and almost caught through the hands of Silas Daniels, who was in the end zone. Let's go to Matt Weiner right now.
Jeff, Most interesting game in the SEC earlier today was Kentucky coming in unbeaten to Florida. Gave them a game, but Florida pulling away late. Rex Grossman to Taylor Jacobs, one of his 12 catches. Gators survived by 7.
That was a great football game today.
So you think, does that game now put Grossman back in the Heisman picture?
Sure, why not? Don't you agree with that?
Nobody's running away with it. Although, you know what? You got to include a guy named Avon Coburn after 260 yards today.
3rd and 8 for Auburn. Cobb with time, and it's intercepted. Another interception. O'Neal Scott comes up with the football to snuff out the Auburn drive. So that's 2 turnovers for Auburn here on the opening quarter of play.
Once again, someone that we talked about at the top of the show, O'Neal Scott, does a great job of playing center field. The receiver just lets it go, but Scott is good enough to read the eyes of the quarterback. Take a look at Cobb's head. Is he fixated on one guy? Steps up, steps up. There you can see the receiver changes his mind. Unfortunately, that's Silas Daniels, a youngster, a sophomore. Take a look at Cobb. Right in the middle of the field. Daniels doesn't know where he is in the field, turns around, and that's a gift for Scott.
Well, the MO on Daniel Cobb had been that he's not throwing interceptions anymore.
But he's got to get some help from his receiver.
On 1st and 10, the pitch is to Reyes, right side, across the 5, and he picks up about 2 yards before he is tackled by LaMarcus Rowell.
Well, now coming into this game, remember Auburn was one of those teams that was feasting on turnovers. They were an astonishing plus 11. Now in the first quarter, they've been having a difficult time. There's that interception. Of course, they had the interception that was called back.
Yeah. I mean, they came in plus 11 on the turnovers.
Take a look at that. Down to 9. That's still pretty good.
2nd and 9. 10-0 Syracuse. Big running hole for Walter Reyes. And Reyes has it up for the first down across the 20-yard line. Tackled by Roderick Hood. It's a gain of 15 yards.
Kevin Sampson and Matt Tarullo. Take a look at the right side right here. Look at this gap. Look as he cuts back. That's an absolute chasm right there. That's a great job of the point of attack by Tarullo in particular. Watch him double team on the nose. Torborg takes a bad angle to the ball, going a little bit too far upfield, and as a result, Reyes gets the extra yardage.
1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Play action, and it's incomplete. David Tyree can't hang on to the football. Thursday, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN, the Bowden Bowl. Bowden Bowl 4 is running back Greg Jones and perennial ACC powerhouse Florida State hosts quarterback Willie Simmons in Clemson. College football Thursday brought to you by Circuit City on ESPN. The all-time Division 1A coaching wins.
That's
Bobby
amazing.
Bowden.
That's amazing. So in other words, if you start right now as a 30-year-old coach, you get at a great place. For 30 straight years, you get 10 wins a year. You're still not going to get it.
You still don't have it all. 2nd and 10. Here comes the blitz. Anderson with time, wide open across the middle is Jared Jones. And Jones has it up for a first down for Syracuse. It is a gain of about 18 yards. Tackled by Rashad Walker, the left cornerback for Auburn.
Auburn decides to come with the blitz. They're going to come with 6. Take a look at all the blue shirts that come up. They pick it up. Now as he wanders around, watch in the middle of the field, he gets lost in coverage because they don't know where to go. That's a great job by the offensive line of Syracuse, picking up the blitz of Auburn.
1st and 10 for Syracuse. The give is to the tailback, Walter Reyes, tackled by Carlos Dansby. It's a gain of 4. It'll bring up 2nd and 6.
Let's give R.J. Anderson credit. I mentioned at the top of the show his struggles with his completion percentage, but he's made some plays. That play in particular, he could have panicked a little bit with the blitz. Instead, he slides to his right a little bit. That shows the composure of the youngster.
He wears the number 5 of Donovan McNabb, which is a good number for a man who has signed a $115 million deal. $20 million signing bonus.
Wow. Does he have a best friend?
I'm available. 2nd and 6. They give up the middle. And Auburn's defense is there on Reyes. Tackle by Tavares Robinson.
Now the ball came out and he jumped on it, but the official said no, he was down.
It's a gain of 1.
It's interesting too that I noticed that when Reyes was carrying the ball, he tried to put both hands over it. And of course, the theory is that that helps you. But if you're not used to doing it with 2 hands, it can actually hurt you. Take a listen for a whistle here at the end of the play.
Late whistle.
I'm telling you, that ball was out. Syracuse caught a break.
3rd and 5 for the Orangemen.
Now, if you're uninitiated, this isn't pro football, so they didn't stop it to replay it. It's something else.
Maybe the little ball in the whistle jammed. Maybe that was the issue there. Looked like he was down, though, Todd.
You say it looks like
it looks like he might be down. Yeah.
No,
let's see it again.
No. Take a look at it slow down. Now watch him spin. Now watch the ball. Is he down? Is he down? Is he down? The ball comes out right there.
No, he's not there.
Right there, you can see the knee is completely up above the grass.
All right, Todd, advantage you.
Well, it's the difference between playing and not.
Thanks. 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions for Syracuse. I'll have another opportunity here. Give me a mulligan.
Well, it took me 5 games to bring that up. You got at least give me credit for that, right?
I will indeed.
You know, the one that you always hear from the guy, you know, the athletes, well, you didn't wear jocks, so you don't even know, dude. At least I didn't do that.
You're not one of those guys, are you?
No.
I mean, you wouldn't even bring that up.
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't bring that up, pencil neck.
Yeah. I'll arm wrestle you afterwards. Fair enough. Paul Pasqualoni.
Really some problems with the clock. Now,
well, the down and distance on the clock has not worked all night.
But the point is that what he's saying, and he's right, is that you know what? If it's not a fumble, it was a running play. The period should have just run out. This is not inauspicious start for Jack Kramer and his crew. I don't think he wanted this much face time.
Well, he is getting a lot of it.
As opposed to you. I'm relentless. What's up with me?
Yeah, you won on that play. That's all. I'm talking with Tommy Tuberville. These two teams tied in the 1988 Sugar Bowl. Remember that one, the 30-yard field goal?
I do.
And they sent all the ties to Pat Dye.
23 seconds.
But 23 seconds and the clock should be running, of course. So It should be the end of the quarter now, right? 25-second play clock. They should be able to just let it run down.
Not that simple.
But coming back to what you just said, I remember Syracuse being 11-0, and Tim Brown was an old teammate of mine, and I really like him. But I thought Don McPherson got robbed. I thought he should have been the Heisman Trophy winner that year.
He was the MVP of that Sugar Bowl game. That's any consolation. 3rd and 5. Anderson out of the shotgun formation now. Here comes the pressure. Off his back foot and throwing out of bounds along the Auburn sideline, and that brings up 4th down. Incomplete.
And you can see the beef of the coaches on the Auburn side. They wanted holding, and they're probably justified. A little bit of a takedown action.
A lot of pressure from Kyle Derazan.
Well, take a look coming up the middle right now. You can see right here. Take a look at that. It's a bit of a takedown, falls on top of him. That's what they're screaming about. Adam Terry able to get away with one.
Roderick Hood is the deep man. Corner. And it is an end-over-end punt taken at the 18-yard line. Great move and run out of bounds. Nice job by Roderick Hood. 25-yard punt, 19-yard return. And the tackle by David Tyree. That is the end of the opening quarter of play from Auburn, Alabama. All Syracuse. Carnell Williams on the give to begin the second quarter. Tackle by Keon Walker, and we have a new quarterback in the game. Daniel Cobb has been replaced by Jason Campbell, the sophomore out of Taylorsville, Mississippi, 6'4", 220 pounds.
Well, I saw him warming up on the sidelines, and I couldn't figure it out because I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But evidently, they felt that it was, that either Cobb was just inaccurate, not getting it right, or for all I know, maybe he's hurt.
Cobb had 2 interceptions in the first quarter. Maybe Tommy Tuberville is attempting to get something rolling here offensively. So more issues with the clock here, more confusion.
Well, there was 2 seconds when they punted. How is it that the punt and the return didn't last? What was it, 1.8? Not in real time.
Clock is moving slowly tonight.
Well, evidently with the penalty, doesn't count.
All right, let's take a look at our ESPN2 game track as what has transpired in the opening quarter here from Jordan Hare. And there have been punt returns and interceptions, and Riddle absolutely sensational on this one.
Great blocking. Let's give credit to Tyree, who also was able to get him some space. And of course, Auburn turning the ball over, very unlike the War Eagles. Just unbelievable that happened. And I really think that maybe that, in addition to the throws that we just saw, that sort of play contributed to them taking Cobb out. That's a no-brainer.
Offense just seems out of sync tonight, doesn't it? I mean, it really does.
Well, once again, you got big fella behind you that you can ride.
Great nickname, Carnell Williams Cadillac.
Yeah, you know what? Hopefully by the end of the evening, I'm not into the Escalade, Katera, Brome thing. You know, I'll leave that alone.
Nickname is GM, right?
Ah,
there you go.
Quite a specimen. 5'11", 205. That's almost ideal. And I say that because the ideal physique that I'd ever seen in a running back was the great, now late Walter Payton. It was about 5'10", 5'11", and 205. I think it was Abe Gebrin that once said about him, he said, when he looked at him in his shorts, he said, God must have said to himself, I'm going to sculpt me a halfback. And they say that Williams has a light kind of body.
Abe Gebrin didn't look so good in shorts, though, himself. Head coach of the Chicago Bears. 2nd and 1. Campbell wants to throw up top. And it's incomplete. Devin Aramashadu, the wide receiver. Good coverage by LaTroy Oliver.
Remember, Campbell last year, as we pointed out, was the starter for 8 games, and to say that he was erratic was an understatement. But then again, so was Cobb. You know, they struggled late in the season. Campbell clearly the more athletic of the 2 quarterbacks. But they talked about how Cobb's forte was being mistake-free. Well, certainly not in this first quarter, was it?
Auburn on 3rd down conversions, 1 for 4, looking at 3rd and 1 now. Give, and it is.
What a great effort.
Great job by Louis Gashelin on the stop. Pick up a 1. It's going to be very close to the first down.
I'm telling you, it looked to me like that was going to be a 3 or 4 yard loss. That is a tremendous effort on the part of Williams. Gashelin, remember, is that stud in the middle who lifts so much he's able to run through. Watch the legs keep churning. Right there, I'm saying that's it. 16, 17, that's it. Look at the scramble. Look at that. Puts his hand down and struggles forward and gets the first down. I know that was only a 1 yard gain, but that was a well of a 1 yard gain.
That it was. 1st and 10 for Auburn. They'll go with 3 receivers this time. Darnell Williams gets the call, and again, trying to find some room in the midst of nothing, and he does. Legs churning. Clifton Smith makes the hit, but it looked like he was going to lose 4 or 5 yards. Instead, he comes up with a gain.
It's interesting because we talk about how this guy compares. I asked the coaches, who do you compare him to? And nobody really did. They just said that he was unique in his combination of speed and power. Remember, Bo Jackson was about 230 pounds, and he was a legitimate, 6'1", 60-yard dash guy. Williams is outstanding football player.
2nd and 7 from the 23-yard line for Auburn. 10-0. Campbell, play action, coming near side. It's complete. Aramashadu making the grab, and he has enough for a first down for Auburn. It's a pickup of 12. Let's get an update on Daniel Cobb. Here's Stacey Pates.
Well, guys, Daniel Cobb is physically doing fine. I think Coach really wants him to get mentally put together. Bringing Jason in will give him a time to cool down a little bit and hopefully get something going. The first quarter, unfortunately, Daniel couldn't get anything going, so now they're going to leave it up to the sophomore to hopefully get this team going.
All right, it's Campbell's turn. 1st and 10. give is to Cardell Williams. Finding room and finding another first down for Auburn. Hitting the hole in a hurry. Tackled by Keon Walker and O'Neal Scott. Let's go to Matt Weiner right now in our studio.
Hi, Jeff. In case you missed it, a signature win for the Iowa State Cyclones against Nebraska today. Total and complete domination. Seneca Wallace, 2 touchdown passes. The bootleg here for a rushing touchdown. Iowa State wins it by 22. Meanwhile, Oregon State looking for a big win, but they come up way short, 22-0 at SC.
Big Red is now Iowa State, not Nebraska.
Well, that is surprising. But then again, in fairness, you think to yourself, when does Nebraska have a down year? Inevitably, when they're 8-3 or 9-2, we consider it a down year. What do they have, 30-some straight winning seasons? I think they're entitled to have the cupboard bare once in 4 decades.
Cardell Williams out, Ronnie Brown is in, and it looks like with the spot, just a tad short. Very, very close to a first down.
Well, interestingly, though, last time when they had 2nd and short, they went up top. Interesting to see if they do that again. Not only the going up top, but it gives Campbell some confidence.
Obamanu and Aramashadu are to the left side on 2nd and less than 1. Play action. Campbell running out of bounds. I think he has it up for the first down. Pickup of about a yard or so. Pressure coming from Tommy Harris, the right end of Syracuse.
Great coverage on the part of Syracuse secondary. Play action on 2nd and 1. You would have thought to themselves that maybe the secondary would come up and try and stuff the run. Instead, they're all over the receivers of Auburn, and indeed he did not get the first down.
Did not get it again.
So now they're going to have to pound in there 3rd and 1.
Syracuse ranked 108th against the run, giving up 214 yards per game, and they are 114th in total defense, allowing 499 per game. Cardell Williams checks in. 3rd and less than 1. Williams straight ahead. Oh, what a hit! Stuffed.
Whoa, Clifton Smith.
What a hit. But he got enough for the first down, but what punishment he took.
Clifton Smith is a 4-year starter, their leading tackler with 37 tackles coming into this game. A bona fide star along the lines of Keith Bullock and Antoine Pons. You want a clinic? Bam! That's what it's like. I'm always reminded what the coach told me when I was in high school. We talk about a great tackler. We talked about Dick Buck because he said he arrives in a foul mood. That's number 9.
Clifton Smith definitely fitting that on that stop. So 1st and 10. Campbell wants to throw, and it is almost intercepted. Jamil Dumas, the fine linebacker, on the coverage of Robert Johnson, to bring up 2nd and 10.
You mentioned early on about Dumas and his ability to do multiple things at the linebacker position. Not often do you have an outside linebacker covering a tight end man for man, especially Johnson, who's a very good pass catcher. But Dumas at 6'2", 220 runs very well. He's a 4.55 guy, very athletic, and almost had a pick 6.
2nd and 10. Just short of the 45-yard line of Auburn. Cardell Williams, and brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 4. Clifton Smith is there, the leading tackler for Syracuse. He's already got 3 tonight.
You know, this has kind of a, if you want to go back with him in history, this has kind of a Jim Brown, Sam Huff feel. You know what I mean? Those guys collided so much. I remember Sam Huff's great line about, we hit together so often I thought we were brothers. Clifton Smith and Williams, man, this is great.
And a very quiet crowd here, which is something that doesn't occur much at Jordan-Hare over the years. They don't lose here. 3rd and 5. Shotgun formation. Campbell in trouble. And it's incomplete. His target was the tight end Lorenzo Diamond. Diamond unable to come up with a football.
Check out who was on the coverage. It was Clifton Smith. Shows that he can do more than just fill gaps. He can cover too.
Penalty marker. Jack Kramer looks a little like Donald Rumsfeld.
It'll be interesting here to see if this is a dead ball. If it's dead ball, they'll take it. Otherwise, they'll refuse it and make him punt.
Dead ball, personal foul, against the defense. Be a 15-yard penalty, 4th down.
Now the pressure is put on that great punter you just mentioned, Damon Duval, to give them field position. Watch at the top of your screen. Or rather, take a look at the pocket. Great pressure, just barely able to get. Remember, Syracuse was struggling with their pass rush coming in, but they're causing some problems for both quarterbacks.
Duval's third punt tonight. And the deep one is Jamel Riddle. Here's the punt.
That's distance, but it's low.
And here comes Riddle. And brought down about the 20-yard line. 53-yard punt, 6-yard return. Penalty marker is down.
If you couldn't hear the PA announcer, it was a 54-yard punt. Not too bad.
All right, we'll take a break here. 10-0 in the second quarter. And the Orangemen have the football. And a 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. And the give is to Damian Rhodes, who picks up the field. Let's go to Stacey Pates along the sidelines.
Well, guys, I'm joined by Dwight. He holds the record for sacks in the NCAA. He's laughing over here because I think he wants to be out there causing some more problems today. You caused a lot of problems for Auburn last year. Talk about, you've been on the sidelines. I've been watching you motivating these guys. What are some things you've said?
Help them out a little bit. You know, I've been out here for 4 years. Now I'm in the pros now. And I'm just trying to take some things I know, and just try to help them out.
This was quite a big game for you last year when you played Auburn. What's it like being with the Indianapolis Colts now? Guys, he was a first-round pick. Talk about that, how much it's changed from college to NFL.
Oh, it's changed a lot, man. You got a lot of bigger, faster guys out there with a lot of experience. And, I just got to get out there and just try to, do what I can, try to catch up to the vets. And that's what I'm doing out there.
Dwight Freeney proved himself at Syracuse. Now he's helping his teammates as well.
Dwight Freeney of the Indianapolis Colts. 31-14 last year. Syracuse, a winner over Auburn. There we go. 0 for 3 on third down conversions. Syracuse looking at 3rd and 2. Anderson, quick throw, and it's complete. Riddle again, and Riddle is into the Auburn territory at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 31 yards.
If you're going to play cornerback and you're going to play back, you have to be in a situation. Here comes the blitz. Now coming over to make the tackle, stumbles and falls, is Travaris Robinson, and as a result, they're able to get to the outside. Anderson is able to hang in there, deliver the ball right on the money despite the blitz. Robinson has to come over from his safety position to make the play. Took a bad angle. The result, big play for the Cuse.
Riddle with that great speed just turns it on. We've already seen him on special teams and almost blew by everybody. On 1st and 10, the draw is to Damian Rhodes. And Rhodes is up and has no gain. Tackled by Dante Booker.
Well, that interview with Dwight Freeney, I had a chance to do a Syracuse game last year, and I'm telling you what, this guy comes off the edge. He is so fast, and when you get him on turf, it's just unbelievable. And he just caused all sorts of havoc. A one-man wrecking crew for Syracuse last year. And, of course, James Munger on the offensive side, 140 yards and 3 touchdowns. Of course, he's graduated.
Yeah, they ran 266 yards on Auburn last year on 52 carries.
But here's the difference when you're in the pros. Check out the suit, all right? The khaki. Yeah. He wasn't wearing that when he's at Syracuse.
2nd and 11. And no dice. Damian Rhodes down in a hurry. Tackled by T.J. Jackson. It's a loss of 7 yards.
That's back-to-back situations where when they're going with that delayed draw, he can't quite get him the ball quickly enough. And you see Freeney visiting with Lacasse, laying it on him, saying, you know what, here's the deal now. Go with the swim move, a little bit of a rip, cut to the outside, it's all good. And, of course, their response is, yo, Dwight, we can't run no 4-4-5 like you.
Freeney does make it look so easy.
Oh, man.
3rd and long. 3rd and 16 for Syracuse. Showing blitz. Here comes Auburn. Anderson being chased. Gets rid of the football. Incomplete. What a lot of pressure from Junior Rosegreen, the strong safety who was firing in on the blitz.
So much fun when you can come unencumbered, untouched, and that's exactly what Rosegreen was able to do. Almost gets to him, but again, give credit where credit is due. R.J. Anderson able to get rid of the ball. No negative yardage.
So Schaefer will have to punt now for Auburn. And Roderick Hood is deep for Auburn right now. Floating spiral. And here comes Hood. Good coverage by Syracuse to bring it down at the 23. Another look at Rosegreen and the pressure. It's a 40-yard punt, 4-yard return, and the defense made it happen for Auburn. They trail 10-zip. And the handoff is to Carnell Williams, and Williams not much there. Gashelin making the stop, the defensive tackle for Syracuse.
Yeah, we talked about that there were a number of backs that were able to get into the games in the first 4 games. As we see, oh boy, that's not good.
That is Riddle.
That's our lone touchdown in the game, leaving the field right now.
Ice pack to his nose, eye area.
Well, now, as we pointed out, with the suspension of Johnny Morant, Riddle was his backup. Now they're going to have to go to some very inexperienced people at wideout.
2nd and 7 for Auburn. Good play action by Cobb. And incomplete over the hands of Robert Johnson, who was extending, but couldn't bring the football in, just a little too tall for him.
Which seems odd because at 6'6", 260, he would be an ideal target. Cobb, with, as you pointed out, the great play action, froze the linebacker so he could get it over the top of him, but Johnson just could not reel it in. Look right here at the bottom of the screen, just a little bit long. Tough catch.
The ball was floating a little bit, too.
Yeah, tough catch.
3rd and 7 for Auburn. 3 receivers. Shotgun formation now by Daniel Cobb. Bumps. They'll keep the football. And he will have enough for a 1st down. Tackled by Clifton Smith. And a good job by Daniel Cobb, who didn't have anybody open, kept the football, knew how far he had to go for the 1st down. He did exactly that.
Clifton Smith averaging a dozen tackles per game. Here he is in coverage. He's looking around. He wants to prevent any crossing routes right there, but instead now he sees the quarterback takes off, steps up, and drops him, although not quite short enough to prevent the 1st down. Number 9 is all over the field.
Mix, Daniels, and Willis at the top of your screen to the left on 1st and 10. Carnell Williams breaking away from 1 tackler, but not much more after that. Pickup of about 3 yards. Don't forget the season, Thursday at midnight on ESPN, the premiere of the latest series from ESPN Original Entertainment, SEC football. Following the cheerleaders, students, parties, alumni, players in class, and on the practice field for the 7 days leading up to the SEC matchups every week with an emphasis on the home team. Thursday night, see how the people of Auburn prepare for the Syracuse Orangemen as they come to town. 2nd and 7 for Auburn now. Daniel Cobb firing, and the catch is made. A nice job by Anthony Mix, and he has it up for another 1st down.
You know, it was interesting when we had a chance to interview with the coaches, the seasoned people that were following us around, you know, put me on the microphone, and of course I didn't say anything profound, so I'm sure they're not going to use it.
Imagine that.
But I found it interesting that Tommy Tuberville was just taking it in stride, and I asked him, I said, don't you find this intrusive? He says, now everybody's doing it. He said he thought it was a good thing to give people the inside look as to what's going on in terms of preparation.
There are a lot of coaches that would not be cool with that good time. I can think of a bunch of them. 1st and 10, and Carnell Williams brought down at the line of scrimmage. Great tackle down at the ankles by Clifton Smith. Gain of 3.
You know, since you said that, I was just envisioning the idea, all right, of Bear Bryant sitting in the chair, right, coming over. Mr. Bryant, could you put this microphone up your sweater?
Coach Jordan, imagine that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, no way.
Yeah, excuse me, Mr. Hayes, Woody, would you please put this, can you put this, take this mic and put it in your back pocket?
Yeah, I got a mic for you, that's right.
Different age. You got to be, you know what, you got to be media savvy now.
Tuberville is
different.
Tuberville is sharp. I mean, he really
is.
Very
he gets
charismatic guy. He gets it. 2nd and 8. Cobb wants to throw. In trouble. Gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. Racing across the middle was Silas Daniels, but it kind of scooted off his fingers. Couldn't bring the football in. It'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Remember Daniels was the guy earlier who kind of caused the interception. Remember when he had his back turned down here inside the 20. A lot of pressure on top of Cobb, and you got to make a catch. You got to make that catch. You just do, especially when you're paying a price like this. Ouch.
Cobb's having a rough night. 3 of 10, 63 yards, and the interception.
And I find it interesting that Ferrara is the one in on the pressure. He was there. They said he's the nose guard guy. He doesn't get in on that sort of thing. That's about his second or third pressure of the night.
3rd and 8 for Auburn. Here comes the blitz. Cobb gets it away, and it is complete. The catch is made. Silas Daniels along the Syracuse sideline corrals the football, a gain of 10, and a first down for the Tigers.
I know he didn't hear me. I know that. But he certainly atoned for his mistake right there. This is a nice catch. Watch the foot. Get it down. Bam. Great job. In fact, he got both feet down. Excellent job by Silas Daniels. Cuts to the outside. And that's a nice throw, too. Over the defender. Oh, that's nice. Very pretty.
So Auburn's got something going here late in the second quarter. Play fake by Cobb. He wants to go long. And it's incomplete. Will Hunter, the good defense on Aramashadu, the wide receiver who looked like he was out there for a moment.
Excellent defense for this reason. He turned it exactly the right time. Now, how many times have you seen it when you have the go route and you see the corner not turn soon enough? Watch, he's running with him. Look at that little bit of not a very good move, and Hunter able to adjust, and right there he could have been called for illegal. Right there he looks. Just a great job by Hunter. He gets away with one. He's a sharp corner there. He gets the arm in there, not just to bat the ball away, but to restrict the movement.
It's a great name for a defensive back, Hunter.
Sure.
2nd and 10. And this time Cadillac gets the ball and nothing. Clifton Smith is there. Wherever Carnell Williams is, look for Clifton Smith, number 9, and you generally can see him high or low, but he is sort of the shadow right now on Cadillac.
And to say that he's excited is an understatement. Give credit to the people up front, both Gachelin and Ferrara. They're keeping the guards off of him, so he's able to roam free and make the hits. I tell you what, those two defensive tackles for Syracuse are having a great first half.
3rd and 10. Shotgun formation again for Daniel Cobb. Cobb with time. And too high, too tall again for Anthony Mix. Second throw in a row to Mix. It was just a little too high for him.
Catchable ball, no doubt. But again, Cobb, as you see him limping, he needed to take a little bit off that ball. He just did. He threw that one far too hard.
And it'll bring up 4th down. Duvall will punt it away.
When things aren't going well for you as a quarterback, you could see the frustration of Cobb there at the end. He needs one of his guys to make a play for him.
4th punt of the night for Danny Duvall. And taking an Auburn bounce, skipping into the end zone. And Syracuse will get the ball at the 20-yard line. 41-yard punt. Syracuse leading 10-0. Syracuse only 109 yards total offense, Todd. The defense has been stout for Auburn. On 1st and 10, Anderson will keep the football and bust a move up to the 34-yard line. Nice job. It's a gain of 12 and enough for a first down. A missed tackle by Dontarius Thomas. Could have had him trapped, but let him out.
Well, yeah, missed tackle, but take a look at the juke he puts on him. He actually did look like the number 5 before that. Man, oh man. It's a planned play. The quarterback draw, he cuts up and just leaves Thomas in his tracks.
Syracuse has really had some bad field position in this game. I mean, you take a look at what they have done from their 9, from their 5, from their 9, from their 20. I mean, they just haven't had much. And here is the give. Some running room. Reyes. One man to beat. And Reyes is into the end zone. Touchdown, Syracuse. 68 yards. So another big play for Syracuse tonight. And they have extended their lead on Auburn here at Jordan-Hare.
Well, once again, the right side of the offensive line for Syracuse just creates a huge gap. Reyes, how exciting for him. And don't forget, you know, we were talking up Rhodes. Reyes is the starter. He's been averaging over 9 yards a game. It's not like he's a staff.
That was a great run.
2 gigantic plays for Syracuse.
Boulder Reyes, the touchdown. He's now got 8 carries, 101 yards, and of course the touchdown. The point after attempt is good. Another look at Walter Reyes.
Well, everybody, this is what happens. You start talking about number 1, you start talking about Rhodes, and Reyes says, well, you know what? Talk about Rhodes all you want, but I'm the starter, and check it out. 68 yards later, I'm a touchdown maker.
Jordan-Hare Stadium on a very muggy night at Auburn, Alabama, and a cold night for the home team. Auburn Tigers down 17-0 here in the first half to Syracuse. Schaefer's kick is taken by Roderick Hood. Penalty marker goes flying, and Hood is brought down at the 22-yard line, and that's going to be a hold that is going to go against Auburn. Chris Butler is the man who may have done the hold. Nothing going right for Auburn tonight.
Holding on a return. Half the distance to the goal line. First down.
Let's go to Matt Weiner in our studio right now.
All right, Jeff, little NCAA history earlier today. Northwestern to Michigan State. Jeff Smoker into double coverage because he's got Charles Rogers over there. 13th straight game with a touchdown catch. That is a new NCAA record.
But Charles Rogers, what an exciting player.
I'm not sure in another 2 games he's not my Heisman pick. Seriously.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. 1st and 10 with the ball at the Auburn 7-yard line. Cobb on the give. It's to Cadillac in trouble. And brought down after a pickup of 1. Keon Walker, a strong safety, making the stop.
Just a toss sweep, and watch here, watch the blocks at the point of attack. Now watch this hole kick out. Once again, Tyree does a great job of getting to the outside. That's just too much. The pursuit just isn't there. Cuts to the outside, and he is gone. Watch at the end of the play, somewhat amusing. The official, you'll see to the right, falls down a little bit, but he gets up and he's able to signal touchdown. Reyes does a very good job of not getting pushed out of bounds.
2nd and 9 for Auburn. Cobb from his end zone, swinging it out to the near side. And a little bit of running room for Carnell Williams, stopped by Jamil Dumas. It's a gain of 6. And it'll bring up 3rd and about 3.
This is odd for the quarterback and the offense, so you want to be careful because you're at this part of the field, but yet you're down 17-0. So what do? If you throw up top and it's incomplete, you stop the clock and you give Syracuse great field position. But if you just run the ball, they've got 8-9 men in the box.
3rd and 3. Cobb wants to throw. Across the middle, and it's caught. 1st down and more. Marcel Willis. Look out for Willis. Willis cutting a move and inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Big play by Willis. 75-yard gain. Tackled by Clifton Smith.
We talked about O'Neal Scott at the free safety. Has to see this. They're coming across the field. There's nobody in the middle of the field. Take a look. Now watch right. Watch the crossing route. Going to come underneath. Now where are the people here? Look at all the white shirts going in this direction. Now instead, Clifton Smith sees him coming, but Clifton Smith can't stay with him man for man. Now look at all the yardage downfield. O'Neal Scott, the free safety, has to see that, cut to the outside, and minimize this game. And at the end, Scott comes a little bit too late, and even then the tackle is broken. Extra yardage. Great effort by Willis.
A minute 25 left. Auburn trying to get on the scoreboard. 1st and 10. The give is to Cadillac, and they stop the play. A motion penalty from the far side of the football field. Taylor Bourgeois may have moved.
You know what? You really want to say. I was almost going to say it. I really want to say Bourgeois.
The Bourgeois.
False start. Offense.
Okay, you say bourgeois, I can say proletariat. Fair?
Okay. Yeah, not a problem. Right. Mr. Marks.
Hey, you know what? I just thought it was interesting. Once again, you saw Clifton Smith and Williams together again. This is good football. I just love to see things like that. The collisions against 2 terrific athletes, both playing at their peak.
What a surprise, though. What a surprise. I mean, who would have figured this?
I did. Okay. Oh, did my nose hit you, Pinocchio?
Forget it
I
there.
lied.
Geppetto. First 15 from the shotgun. Cobb. And as he gets rid of the football, he is hit by Ryan Lacasse, who smacked him. Thursday, 7:30 on ESPN. It's Bowden Bowl 4's running back Greg Jones and perennial ACC powerhouse Florida State. Host quarterback Willie Simmons and Clemson. College football Thursday, presented by Circuit City on ESPN. The Bowden family.
You would know this better than I because you live in the South. Who does Mom root for?
I think she is supportive of all of her lads.
Oh, come on. Don't give me the politically correct answer.
Oh, wait a minute. You've got all those sons. You know the answer to that. Here is Cobb out of the shotgun, dumping it to the near side, and Cadillac is hit. Cadillac is parked at the 19 by Keon Walker. Great hit by the strong safety from Hoboken, Frank Sinatra's hometown.
Great open field tackle. Fly me to the moon. Let me stay amongst the stars. He's seeing stars. Did you like that?
I was waiting to see where you were going with the lyric.
Come on, wedge the Sinatra stars thing with the hit. Come on, you said Hoboken, his hometown.
I got you under my skin.
Well, regardless. Yeah, well, I'm going to do. You keep that up. I'm going to do it my way. All right.
I could use the summer wind right now. Let's go to Matt Weiner right now in our studio.
All right, Jeff, coming up at halftime, a near SEC upset as Kentucky gives the Gators all they could possibly want in the swamp. The celebration is on tonight in Ames, Iowa, after Iowa State puts a hurting on Nebraska, a historic win for the Cyclones. Plus, Pac-10 action. Tell you who put up 65 points and who won the only top 25 matchup of the Pac-10. Trev Alberts, Mark May, and me coming up at the half.
All right, Matt. Still surprised to see Nebraska's struggles this year, aren't you?
I am. But when you're looking at this situation, they call timeout, they want to get a play. You've got third and extremely long. You're looking at about what, 15 yards. You need to resist the temptation of just wanting to throw it into the end zone, because clearly Syracuse, if Chris Rippon, and I'm sure this is what his thinking is, said, hey, you know what, we're going to rush three and back some people up. I'm thinking that a drop play or just maybe an off tackle here to get to the middle of the field, say, hey, let's kick the field goal, go in down 14. Don't want to force it here.
Well, let's see. 3rd and 16 from the shotgun formation for Daniel Cobb in Auburn, trailing 17-0 inside a minute. Cobb with time, firing into the end zone. Oh, by himself was Marcel Willis. Nobody within 7 or 8 yards of Millis as he was racing to the middle of the end zone.
Well, I guess that's why I'm no prognosticator. Take a look. You're going to see at the bottom of the screen, the free safety vacates. Great protection, sees what he wants, but just can't deliver on the money. Look, oh, how frustrating is that? Wide open.
Marcel Willis.
Marcel Willis. And he certainly wants that one back, as does Cobb. Oh, man, he knows he had it.
This will be a 37-yard. Let's check it again. It's 34-yard field goal by Damon Duval. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So Duval has put Auburn on the scoreboard with 34 seconds left before the end of the first half. It's now 17-3. So they do not get shut out here in the first half.
Well, Syracuse defense has really risen to the occasion. All the things that you pointed out, all those negative stats coming in, evidently, sometimes they don't mean a thing. They've been colliding. I tell you what, Cobb has been paying a price, and of course, Carnell Williams has been getting his yards, but he has been paying for those too, all sorts of collisions.
It bears repeating, Syracuse ranked 108th in the nation against the run, and 114th in the nation in total defense.
But Williams is getting his yards. Williams is getting his yards, but you know what? He's getting his yards between the 20s.
Got 18 carries, 77 yards right now.
Monrico Crittenden a little bit sore. Clifton Smith is saying, come on, let me go hit something else. I'll take a blow. It's all good. Shaved head. You know what? That's a tough guy, isn't it? I mean, you know what? We're never going to hear the phrases Clifton Smith, interior decorator. I don't see it. You know what I mean? This guy is tough.
He is tough.
But
he's doing some rearranging, though, of the Auburn offense.
Well, but one thing you are going to hear is Clifton Smith on Sunday.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. Philip Yost getting ready to kick off. The hometown kid, the sophomore out of Auburn. Damian Rhodes is deep. And Rhodes will take it at the 2. Rhodes with some running room. And a fine job by Damian Rhodes up to the 43-yard line. Tackled by the kicker, Philip Yost. We welcome the men and women of the U.S. Naval Hospital in Naples, Italy, providing service to over 10,000 personnel throughout the Mediterranean, and watching this telecast on the Armed Forces Network. Thanks to all of you and for all the work that you do for us.
Interesting with regards to the 17-3 score, just to show you how numbers can be deceptive. The 2 touchdowns on a 68-yard touchdown run and an 85-yard punt return. With regards to that, 117 total yards on 24 other plays. So really, you look at that, the Auburn defense actually has played fairly well.
24 seconds left here in the first half. 17-3 Syracuse. And the give is to Chris Davis, the fullback. Tackled by Jay Retliff. And nothing there.
Evidently they're content. I would have thought that after that great kickoff return, they might have taken a couple of shots downfield, but instead, I guess a 14-point lead is enough for Paul Pasqualoni and his Chargers.
End of the first half. Syracuse surprising Auburn. All Orangemen, 17-3. The halftime report with Matt Weiner is next.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. So Auburn having all sorts of trouble with mistakes, big plays killing them, and right now Syracuse up by 2 touchdowns on the scoreboard.
And welcome back to Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn, Alabama. Syracuse all over the hometown Tigers. It has been a surprise, and maybe a surprise in how they've done it. They've done it with big plays. They haven't done it with any sustained offense tonight.
Very impressive in terms of the return yardage. It has been outstanding. But the one thing that catches my attention here, you brought up all the statistics, 108th against the run, 114th total defense, giving up 500 yards. It just goes to show that from week to week, there are no guarantees. Syracuse defense has been outstanding in the first half.
Philip Yost kicking off, and Damian Rhodes will down it, and up to the 20-yard line. Syracuse will take over. 17-3. Syracuse leading Auburn. I'm Jeff Hullinger along with Todd Christensen. And I think we thought we were going to see a much closer game here in the first half. This has been a Syracuse team that really has played very well defensively. Statistically, they have not been very impressive. But tonight, against this offensive Auburn, they have been tough stuff.
And they've had every reason to not play well. It's the long travel, the humidity, everything going against them. And yet, they're the ones that came out ready to play. They're the ones that were excited, hence the reason why they're up 2 touchdowns.
And they have the ball first here to begin the second half. It is 1st and 10 for R.J. Anderson. The option, he will keep the football, and not much there. Pickup of 1. It'll be 2nd and 9. Take a look at the ESPN2 game track. And Todd, this is really the return yards.
It really is. Not only do you have that great punt return, but of course that great kickoff return just at the end of the first half. And I'm sure that the special teams had to be reevaluated for Auburn there at halftime. But boy, oh boy, you see Orange Crush defense. That's pretty clever.
Where is Robert Red Miller tonight of the Denver Broncos?
Very clever. I tell you what, maybe at this point Auburn would prefer that. 2nd and 9.
Anderson wants to throw. Pumps. In trouble. Gets it away, and it's incomplete. The intended target was Andre Fontenette, and he can't hang on to the football. It'll bring up 3rd and 9. You got an interesting statistic, Todd, that you came up with about non-conference games for Tommy Tuberville. He really has had a lot of amazing success. You take a look at going back to Ole Miss, 18-0 in non-conference games, 9-0 at Auburn.
Very good, yeah. So with those statistics, you would have thought this would have been, cakewalk. Not the case.
3rd down conversions, 1 of 5. 3rd and 9. Shotgun formation for Anderson. Has time and intercepted. Picked off by Auburn of R.J. Anderson. And that will set this big crowd on fire here. Carlos Carlos Rogers, the right cornerback, comes up with the deflected football, and Auburn is in business.
Remember at the end of the first half, I had commented that Cobb on a crossing route had thrown the ball a little bit too hard for the receiver. Again, this is certainly a catchable ball, but he just guns this ball right here. It's a little bit behind him, and in some cases, maybe you're better off not to try and get it. Jared Jones tries to reach back. The result is a pop-up turnover for Auburn.
That's a great temptation of a receiver, that you need to leave some footballs alone.
But then again, you don't know who's behind you. Maybe if you let it go, it's intercepted. He made an effort, turned out badly.
I've had 4 total turnovers tonight. 1st and 10 for Daniel Cobb. And a penalty marker goes flying. In fact, the quarterback is Jason Campbell. Jason Campbell replaces Daniel Cobb to begin the 3rd quarter.
Delay. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Let's go to Stacey Pates along the sideline.
I spoke with both coaches at the half, and Coach Tuberville, I asked him, what do you say to these guys in the locker room after the first half to get them going? Tuberville says, hey, we're at home in front of our hometown crowd, and if that's not enough, what can I say? Coach Pasqualoni, I said, you told us earlier that you wanted to eliminate big plays. That's what he told us a couple days ago, and win turnover battles. And I said, do you feel that you've wrecked their game plan? Coach says, yeah, we just want to do more of the same in the second half.
Darnell Williams, Stacey, up to the 24-yard line, tackled by O'Neal Scott, and it is a gain of 12 yards, so it'll bring up 2nd and 3.
As Stacey was talking, you could see the frustration on Tuberville. He had his reverse set, and instead there's a penalty. They got everything going, momentum, got the turnover. They didn't get what they wanted. He's a little bit frustrated, but here's the point. With 13.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter, they can continue to ride the Cadillac. It's not like they have to change their game plan.
Jason Campbell at quarterback, and the handoff is to Cadillac. And knocked out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. Going back to that delay of game, I mean, that's what happens, Todd, when you shuffle your quarterbacks in and out. I mean, it's going to take them a while to find the rhythm.
You know what?
You don't buy that.
No. Come on. Not when you just got the ball on the turnover. You should be excited to head out there. There's no excuse for that.
Just trying to be a quarterback apologist. As a tight end, you're not going to let that happen.
Well, why wouldn't I? Tight ends, quarterbacks are my best friends.
Darnell Williams. It is 1st and 10. Campbell rolling, throwing, and completing to Robert Johnson, the tight end. 6'6", 270, the junior out of Montgomery. It's a gain of 7. Tackled by Rich Scanlon.
3 very good tight ends that can all catch the ball, but Johnson's the biggest of the group. Number 87. Reminds me a little bit, they had a tight end here by the name of Reese McCall. Reese Too Tall McCall, 6'7", 240. He reminds me a little bit of him.
2nd and 3. Cadillac trying to turn the corner and cutting it in. And tackled by Clifton Smith. His shadow, it's no gain. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Great job on the part of the defense, and again, Clifton Smith. But the one thing that I like about Williams, well, there's many things to like about him, but for the 3rd time now, the penetration has been such that it should have been a negative play. Should have been a -3, -4, -5-yard play. Every single time he's either got back to the line of scrimmage or got extra yards, and now they come up 3rd and short as opposed to, say, 3rd and 7 and 8, and we know that's a huge difference.
Williams has not had a lot of room tonight. He's really had to fight for every yard that he has been able to get. 3rd and 3, shotgun formation for Campbell. He'll keep the football. Charging ahead, and he has enough for the 1st down for Auburn. Tackled by Jeremiah Mason, the left cornerback, to make the tackle on Campbell.
It's a good call. You spread everybody out. You just ran with Williams. You say to yourself, here's the deal. You know what? He's got to be throwing downfield. Takes the step back, cuts back. Good job on the left side of the offensive line. Frankly, I thought Campbell could have got a little bit more out of this, but he gets enough for the 1st down. Now, Cobb is limping. I think it's more than just the fact that he had struggled. I think he's in some pain.
1st and goal for Auburn. Double tight end set. The pitch is to Cadillac. Charging ahead is Cadillac. Tackled by Keon Walker and Will Hunter. It's a gain of 6 and very close to the end zone.
When you think about somebody who is 5'11", 205, you don't think in terms of a power back. But he continues to make people miss, and people miss tackles. Right here, once again, it should be a negative play in the backfield, but just cannot wrap up. In that case, that was Hunter, and the result is nearly a touchdown for Williams.
2nd and goal from the 1. Auburn trying to get into the end zone for the first time tonight. Williams charging ahead into the end zone, very close. Is he? No. Inches short. Williams now 23 carries and 100 yards. Will Hunter is there to make the stick on Carnell Williams.
Well, that's interesting because, remember, Hunter was the guy that didn't get it before. Take a look at the right of your screen coming over the top. Sure enough, they get him just a little bit short. A little bit short. Nice job by good Will Hunter.
You didn't say that, did you?
Afraid so. Now down on the turf is Johnson, Brandon Johnson, their fullback, and not just their fullback now. He is arguably their best special teams player. He's on most every special team that they have.
6'1", 235. He is a junior.
We should say something about Williams here because he's been outstanding in this drive. You might be saying to yourself at home, you know, it's 80 degrees and he's already carried the ball 23 times. He's certainly going to wear down, isn't he? At some point, he's going to get a little bit tired. Somebody else is going to have to come in and take a blow. No. Remember, we talked about they had Bo Jackson, Joe Cribbs, all those great runners at Auburn. The record for carries in a single game by a back is 41 by that man last year against Georgia.
Wow. Well, they've had some great football players at Auburn over the years. And Carnell Williams joining that lot. Great running backs here. Of course, Takeo Spikes and Tracy Rocker on the defensive side.
Now, when you look at that, I'm thinking those young runners that have had the opportunity in the last couple of games, they're watching a great runner out there, and they're thinking to themselves, huh, maybe a redshirt year, maybe? What do you think? I mean, because if he doesn't get hurt, he's the guy. You got to ride that horse. Take a look at Johnson coming. Ooh, look at that. The knee right in the head. And you know what's surprising about that? I would have thought really because he's helmeted up that would have hurt Clifton Smith more. Once again, a great collision by two very physical football players.
Johnson not walking a straight line toward the sidelines.
If your number is 45, are you anything but a fullback?
No. I can think of some H-backs.
Okay.
In various offenses.
Okay. That just seems to me to bespeak a fullback number.
8th play of the drive for Auburn. Campbell keeps the football. Touchdown, Auburn. Their first touchdown of the ball game coming in the 3rd quarter against the Orangemen. It is very, very tough to beat Auburn in this stadium. At Jordan-Hare over the years, 228, 55-7, and 14-1 over the last 2 years. Here's Damon Duval getting ready for the point after attempt. And the kick is good. So here come the Tigers cutting in to the Syracuse lead. 17-10 here in the 3rd quarter. The great places to watch and experience college football in America. There is no place quite like Auburn, Alabama. And the crowd on their feet here. The Tigers now trailing by a touchdown to Syracuse. And Philip Yost getting ready to kick off. Damian Rhodes and Steve Gregory are the deep men for the Orangemen. And Rhodes will down it. The ball will come out to the 20-yard line. Key play of the drive, Todd.
Well, certainly it had to be the quarterback draw, and this is a great call. It's a great call by Bobby Petrino, the offensive coordinator. Meanders his way into the first down, and then of course right there, great charge by the first three in the middle, particularly center Ben Nowlin. that enables Campbell to get over the top for 6.
8 plays, 31 yards, 3:28 of time with Campbell. The 1-yard touchdown plunge. 17-10 Syracuse. Orangeman with a football. 1st and 10, and the give is straight ahead. It is to Walter Reyes. Picks up 2. Bring up 2nd and 8. Tackle by Spencer Johnson. Let's go to Stacey Pates.
You called his name, Ben Nowland, one of the nation's top centers. He recently went through a physical transformation. He let his hair grow nearly 14 inches, which had to be a pain during two-a-days. Then he let it grow just to cut it off to donate it to Locks of Love, an organization that makes wigs for children under 18 who have lost their hair due to chemotherapy. He says in his case, it'll grow back. It's just hair. But these kids benefit from it, makes it worth it.
A great cause. Coach Jordan would not have allowed hair like that to begin with. Anderson, it is complete, and the catch is made by Chris Davis. It is a gain of 4. A swarming Auburn defense along the Syracuse sideline led by Carlos Dansby.
She's too humble to admit it, but I have to have a caveat to that hair story, and that is our own Stacey Pates in Indiana had very long hair, cut hers off, and did the very same thing there in her community. And I think that's great.
How about you? Maybe cut off all of that?
When I was playing, I had enough. Not anymore.
Maybe shave it just for a new look.
Sure.
3rd and 3. 1 for 6. Syracuse on 3rd down conversions. Anderson firing, and it's incomplete. Skips it to Jared Jones. It'll bring up 4th down. Let's go to Matt Weiner in our studio.
Thank you, Jeff. Ohio State off the scare against Cincinnati. They get Maurice Clarett back in the lineup, and they give him the ball wisely. 3 touchdowns on the day. Now has 10 on the season, 9 on the ground. 100-plus yards, and Ohio State gets themselves a 45-17 win.
Maurice Clarett, he had to have new stitches put in at halftime.
Yeah, he's tough, and I like him, but I still have to see him put up a big game against some quality competition before I consider him a Heisman.
There for a low punt. It'll be returned by Roderick Hood. Trying to set up the return. No, sir. Brought down at the 36 by guess who? Clifton Smith, the ever-present one on defense, on special teams, on Auburn.
Unbelievable. The guy's making all the tackles on defense, and he hustles down the punt, too. Wow.
Night, brought to you by Jack Daniel's Original Hard Cola, a premium malt beverage as unique as the people who drink it.
Auburn football is a cultural happening in the Southeast, and right now the Tigers are happening offensively and defensively. We wanted to mention Clifton Smith, who made that last tackle. 11 tackles, 8 solo, and a fumble recovery tonight.
A partridge in a pear tree. He's been all over.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. Jason Campbell remains the quarterback. Here comes the blitz. Campbell in trouble. Penalty marker goes flying, gets it away, and the catch is made. Ronnie Brown. Brown on his feet and spun down at the 40-yard line of Syracuse, but that may be coming back courtesy of a hold. 22-yard gain. And it's a hold indeed, but not against Auburn.
Wow.
Surprise.
Well, the only thing I can think of,
Holding. Under defense. Penalties decline. First down.
because the flag was thrown in the backfield, is that they had a defender grab onto Brown trying to get out of the backfield. That's the only thing I could think of. Because I thought, like you, I thought for sure it was offensive holding that was going to come back. Everything's suddenly going Auburn's way.
1st and 10 for the Tigers in Syracuse territory. They'll go with 3 wideouts this time and a shotgun formation for Jason Campbell. And the give is to Cadillac. No, it's not. A good play fake by Jason Campbell, who goes down at the 45-yard line.
Actually, partner, it wasn't a play fake. I think he was supposed to get the ball.
Let's go to Stacey Pates right now.
Guys, fullback Brandon Johnson's on the sidelines. He was getting his eyes checked and also getting a balance test because he really got his bell rung. So they're checking his head because they really want to take precautions when an athlete is hit in the head. Also, Daniel Cobb, they were checking his lower left leg, but it's not his injury that's keeping him out of the game. They're not even considering it an injury, just pain in his left leg. And guys, he was sitting on the bench with Jason Campbell moments ago and gave him a pat on the shoulder pad, and that's what you want from a 6-year senior guy.
Here is Campbell throwing. Far side, it is caught. The catch is made by Mix. And the pressure coming from Ferrara on Jason Campbell.
Mix does what every good receiver is supposed to do. Your quarterback starts to scramble. You come back to him to give him a target. And at 6'5", 235 pounds, he is a great target. Take a look in the middle in the slot. He comes to the out. He's lingering. Now he sees that his quarterback's in trouble. Now he comes back to the ball, because if he does not come back to the ball, Oliver could have picked it and gone to the house.
All right, 3rd and long, 3rd and 14. Shotgun formation again for Jason Campbell. Campbell with time. He'll keep the football. And Campbell is down at about the 36-yard line. It is a gain of 14 yards. Tackled by Will Hunter.
He gets a great block downfield from Carnell Williams, showing that he's not just somebody that can run with the football. Campbell had plenty of time, but again, the Syracuse secondary was outstanding. He cuts to the middle of the field, and Williams was set down in the circle route waiting for the ball. He saw his quarterback turned around, provided the block that gave him the extra 5 yards, and guess what? They're going for it.
4th and 5, they will go for it. With 3 receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Campbell looking into double coverage, and it's intercepted by Will Hunter, who comes down with the football at the 6-yard line.
But here's the deal. That was bad Will Hunter. It's 4th down, right? But when you're a defensive back, you can't resist. So you want to go for the pick. I understand, 30. I know that you want the stats, but you have to be game smart. Now, instead of having the ball clear out at the 35-yard line, you're starting at about the 6.5. This is an ill-advised pass. He throws into double coverage. Hunter shows his hops. Now, if he could have kept his feet and had a return, then you can justify the pick, but not this time.
Well, it turns out
right with him.
Turns out like a fine punt, doesn't it?
It does. Great coverage on the part of Syracuse.
1st and 10 from the 7-yard line for the Orangemen. The pitch is to Damian Rhodes, near side, and hit out of bounds. Is that a late hit?
Holy cow.
Close. Robinson.
Close.
A pickup of 3, 2nd and 7. No flag. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Did look like a late hit, though.
Well, they get the corner. It's a great job. Great job on the part of Lenny Cusimano, the tight end, to get the corner for the runner. But watch at the end of the play. Here's the block. Now he cuts to the outside. Watch his feet. You tell me if he's out of bounds. Oh, please. Oh, come on.
All right. 2nd and 7. And up the middle, nothing. Damian Rhodes is stuffed.
Damian Rhodes fumbled and was able to get it back.
All right, here we go. Monday Night Countdown, previewing ABC's Monday Night Football game, as well as providing up-to-the-minute NFL news, comprehensive analysis, and live interviews with Stuart Scott, Tom Jackson, Ron Jaworski, Sterling Sharp, and Chris Mortensen. Monday Night Countdown, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. Super Bowl champs, the last 5 teams. Baltimore going against Denver. Anderson setting up the screen. Damian Rhodes. And Rhodes is hit at the 15-yard line.
Now, when you're a young running back, you're used to being physically dominant. You're used to being able to run away from people and fool them. In that situation, Rhodes needed to stay with his friends. The tight end was set up to the left, or excuse me, the screen was set up to the left. He decides to cut back against the grain. He pays for it. Short for 1st down. Now Syracuse has to give it up.
Schaefer standing at about his 1-yard line. Roderick Hood is the deep man, so Auburn will get some pretty good field position out of all of this. Wobbly spiral. Here comes Hood. Got some running room. slips midfield and goes down. A good job by special teams for Auburn. A 48-yard punt, a 12-yard return. Syracuse leading, but the momentum has gone stone cold here in Jordan-Hare Stadium at Auburn, Alabama. The Orangemen leading 17-10, but Auburn has the football, and Syracuse can't get anything going offensively. 3 3-and-outs. They have no first downs in the second half. Auburn with the football. 1st and 10 with the ball at their 49-yard line. And penalty markers go flying. Mark Pera, maybe the left tackle, moved for Auburn.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense.
7th penalty of the night on them. Matt Weiner in the studio right now. Let's check in with him.
All right, Jeff, if you're a fan of Auburn, you're always interested in what the Crimson Tide did. Banged up Tide into Arkansas. Brody Croyle, the redshirt freshman quarterback, in for Tyler Watts. Nice pass to Zach Fletcher. Bama wins it 30-12 in Fayetteville.
Well, they gave that score at halftime. There were a cascade of boos for Roll Tide.
Yeah, but with all those injuries, they go into Fayetteville and win like that. That's impressive.
On 1st and 15, Cardell Williams on the give, and not much there. Clifton Smith on the tackle, no gain. It's his 9th tackle.
It just dawns on me that I don't know if Chris Spielman has gone home, but he would be loving this. You can see the difference with the offense tonight. Actually, with Cobb, they have a few more yards, but of course twice as many drives. Very, very difficult to gauge this, but obviously Coach Tuberville and Bobby Petrino, the OWL coordinator, going to run with Campbell.
Bobby Petrino was the offensive coordinator at Jacksonville for a while. 2nd and 15 from the 44-yard line. Campbell firing, and it is complete. The catch is made by McIntyre, but it's no gain. Jamil Dumas is there, the linebacker, to make the stop. About 5.
That gives them a 3rd and 10, and I tell you, the linebacker play for Syracuse tonight has been outstanding. And I know that you might say to yourself, what are you talking about? Their runner has 100 yards. It's a stretch when you're saying that, but not just in the run game, but in the pass game. Those 3 guys can cover.
3rd and 10 for Auburn. And through the hands of Obamanu, who can't bring the football in. That'll bring up 4th down. Not a very good offensive series for the Tigers.
Particularly considering the field position that they had, and Tommy Tuberville not only isn't happy with this, he can't be happy with the way it began. They came off the sidelines, and right away they have a motion penalty. What's that?
It's called 3 and out. Damon Duvall, punter. Richard Williams, the deep one, standing in front. High floating spiral, and at about the 17-yard line. Thursday, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. It's Bowden Bowl 4. As running back Greg Jones and perennial ACC powerhouse Florida State will host quarterback Willie Simmons in Clemson. College football Thursday presented by Circuit City on ESPN. Bowden family knows something about winning.
The obvious is, what were the conversations like around the dinner table? Okay, look, if we have the 2 deep zone, we got a 46-47, we go with the blitz. What do you think you're going to respond with? Well, we go by 3 wide package, go 583Z stop, you know, that sort of thing.
It is a family business. Anderson wants to throw up top into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Carlos Rogers, and he has a wall in front of him. Rogers trying to turn the corner and run out of bounds by R.J. Anderson at about the 17-yard line. A 34-yard return. 2nd interception of the night for Rogers.
Last year, R.J. Anderson set a record in the Big East for interception percentage at 1.38. This is an ill-advised throw. There's nobody there. The catch is made. This is like playing center field. Now watch his feet. Is he in bounds? Ooh, that's close. That was close, but the official was right on top of it. He says he is. Here's a little bit of a slam move. He's not buying it. Boy, that's great to be on top of it. Watch that right foot. Oh, man. Awfully close.
1st and 10 from the 17. Let's see how Auburn does this time with good field position. Darnell Williams. Right up the gut, gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Gashelin the stop.
Tale of two halves, right, partner?
Yes, sir.
And those 2 turnovers by Syracuse are just, you know, both interceptions on the part of Anderson. And as we pointed out, I'm surprised, interestingly enough, that they're not considering Troy Nunes here, simply because of the fact, you know, Nunes was the starter beaten out by Anderson. And the reason Anderson's in there is because he doesn't throw interceptions, supposedly.
2nd and 8. Syracuse jumped off sides there. Penalty marker goes flying. Ferrara, the nose tackle. So Auburn is saying it is against Syracuse.
So if you can read lips, you can see he said offsides.
Offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Jack Kramer has been one of the busiest men in the stadium tonight.
When we look at Troy Nunes, frankly, I am surprised. I would have thought at this point that he'd be warming up. They might be giving him a shot because they talked about him being the perfect backup. He's always prepared, ready to go, and quite frankly, Anderson's struggling.
Yeah. 2nd and 3 for Auburn. Double tight end set. The give is to Williams. Williams bowling ahead inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line. Tackled by Will Hunter. It's a pickup of 6.
Nice misdirection on the part of Auburn, maybe taking a page out of Syracuse playbook. For all intents and purposes, it looks like the cross buck to the right side. Instead, watch what happens. Now he comes back. Now he comes to the left side. Nice cut. That's great vision on the part of Williams. I tell you what, I know that he's young, but if there are pro scouts that are in the audience, they're looking for somebody with the total package. Quickness, strength, and vision. He's got it.
He does have it. 1st and goal from the 4 for the Tigers. With fans on their feet in the end zone. Williams left side and maybe picks up a yard. Not much more than that. O'Neal Scott, the free safety, is the man that made the stick. Tonight's attendance, 83,667.
I'm sorry, did you just say made the stick? Wow, that's the whole athletic nomenclature. I like it. Plus the fact that he had his helmet knocked out. Well done.
You like the jockocracy lexicon?
I do. Good. I do.
And O'Neal Scott is the injured Orangeman right now.
Remember Scott with the interception, big interception for them in the first half.
Williams has 27 carries, 110 yards, an average of 4.1.
Well, what was particularly impressive about that in the stat, as we saw in the graphic, his longest run is 18 yards, which means he's really plugging. He's pounding those yards in there.
Brandon Johnson is back in the ball game.
No freebies for 24.
After he took that knee to the head from Clifton Smith.
I'm telling you right now, if you're the halfback, you want your fullback in the game. It's a sense of security when you got your 3rd guard in front of you. Up to this point, the score may or may not be deceptive. Auburn has 322 total yards. Syracuse only 203.
And Scott is up. Looks like he is okay. Boy, football in Auburn, it just doesn't get much better than that. If you like college football or pro football or any kind of football, it is one of those things to put on your list of things to do if you love sports.
Jambalaya in New Orleans is good for me, but whatever you say.
2nd and goal for Auburn. Handoff is to Cadillac. And fighting and struggling for a yard. LaTroy Oliver's there, the left cornerback, making the hit.
Oliver does a great job of just tripping him up, because if he doesn't, he walks into the end zone. Clifton Smith shoots the gap, and he's not able to get him, but Oliver is able to just get a shoestring, forcing a 3rd and goal.
All right, 3rd and goal. What do? Do you plunge between the tackles here? Do you take it outside?
No. It's 4 down territory, and really at this point, I might let the quarter run out and think about it. Oh, they can't.
3rd and goal for Auburn. Whoa! Ball is loose. Syracuse said they have it.
Well, that's what you don't do. And here's what's surprising about this: whoever comes up with the ball.
Scrum.
The lone touchdown that Auburn had was on what? Quarterback sneak, right?
Orangemen have the football. Oh, man. How about that turnover?
I believe it was Corey Brooks. They added the extra middle linebacker. Yeah, it is, number 46, who was able to come in, and along with Clifton Smith, they had the extra Mike Backer. But I'm telling you right now, whatever it is they had going, it looks like he's in too much of a hurry. He doesn't get it, and then it ricochets off his foot, and he can't find it. Now, Brooks right there, you're not sure who has the ball. He never gets it. Now, watch the scramble. Look at 46 right here. He's going to get in there, and he's going to pry it away. Great effort on the part of Brooks, especially considering he hadn't been playing much in the game.
A much maligned defense of Syracuse has stood up tonight. 1st and 10 from less than the 1. And Anderson will plow ahead. Penalty markers, 1, 2.
Right tackle moved a little bit too quickly. I believe that was Kevin Sampson.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense. Half the distance to the goal line. First down.
I don't know if they have the courage to do it, because Paul Pasqualoni is very inventive, but I'm telling you right now, if they were to throw a screen pass, it would go a long, long way.
One of the bread and butter plays of the LA and Oakland Raiders over the years.
No. I'm just saying that nobody thinks about that when you're on your own 2-yard line.
Yeah.
I saw Mike Price do it once with Washington State, and they went about 65 yards.
On 1st and 10, R.J. Anderson again.
Talk about
that is the end of the quarter.
Long walk at the end of the quarter, huh? Man, all 100 yards you got to go.
In this humidity, that is not easy. All right, we head on to the 4th quarter and what has been a very, very interesting game from Auburn, Alabama. The 4th quarter from Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn, Alabama. Here is the give. It is to Thump Belton, the fullback. And he picks up about 5 yards for the Orangemen. Tackled by Mark Brown. Let's go to Matt Weiner in our studio.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Earlier today, West Virginia and East Carolina. East Carolina had never won in Morgantown, and they weren't going to today thanks to this guy, Avon Coburn. 52-yard touchdown run. He went for 260 on the day in a Mountaineer win.
2-6. Throw him in there. Over 4,000 yards in his career.
3rd and 4 for Syracuse from his end zone. Anderson firing, dangerous throw, almost intercepted.
Again, I reiterate the same thing. I don't understand why Nunes is not warming up. He's now 5 for 17 with 2 interceptions, as you just pointed out. That should have been the 3rd.
Horace Willis almost had a pick for the Tigers. But again, Auburn will get excellent field position. They're 0 for 2 on these last 2 drives where they got the ball in some great field position. Let's see what they can do here.
Well, this is a little bit shallow. Schaefer's only standing at about 11 yards. Usually it's between 13 and 15.
Schaefer gets it away.
Nice.
Good. Hot. Roderick Hood. Shifting direction and spinning down at the 46-yard line. Excellent field position now for the Auburn Tigers. When you think about this game, you check it out here on ESPN2 Game Track. It has been the big plays for Syracuse.
Jamel Riddle drops the punt, but he's able to come up with it. 85 yards later, Syracuse has its initial touchdown of the game. Of course, later on, remember they had a 68-yard run by Reyes, and Auburn is just playing the role of Keystone Cops. 4 turnovers, and remember, 2nd in the nation coming into this game at a +11 turnover ratio.
1st and 10 from their 46 for Auburn. Jason Campbell wants to throw. He has time. Now running out of the pocket. He'll keep the football. And into Syracuse territory, tackled by Clifton Smith. And it is a pickup of 7 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 3. Let's check in with Stacey Pates right now.
You'll notice that Jamel Riddle for Syracuse, next time they have the ball, guys, will not be out there. He sustained a hit on the top of his head just above his eye. It is swollen up so much that he can't even see. And I think that'll hurt Syracuse because he was responsible for a lot of those yards earlier.
Call me, Mick.
2nd and 3, indeed. And they get it right up the middle. It's Kenlock Williams. Look out! And Williams is brought down from behind inside the 10-yard line by Will Hunter. It's a gain of 37 yards.
The defense for Syracuse has been on the field a little bit too much. The time of possession, which sometimes is an overrated stat, in this case is nearly 2-to-1 for Auburn. You've got to be wearing down. Take a look at the cut that he makes right there. Just stops. Wow. Just turns on a dime. O'Neal Scott gets completely jukes. Cuts to the outside. Will Hunter has the touchdown-saving tackle, but clearly the Orangemen on defense are getting fatigued, Jeff.
First and goal now for the Auburn Tigers. And again is the Cadillac plowing ahead, picking up a couple. That's his 30th carry of the game, 152 yards, tackled by Ferreira.
Here's another look from the side. Look at that at the point of attack. The first guy that touches him about 6 yards downfield, but great balance. Did I mention balance along with quickness, strength, vision? I tell you, Williams, he is the real deal. I'm sorry, that's Holyfield. He's real deal too. How's that?
In this part of the world, you need to clarify. Second and goal from the 7-yard line. Play action. Campbell rolling, throwing, completing, and Wallace is in for the touchdown. Cooper Wallace, a 7-yard touchdown from the arm of Jason Campbell. It's not the first time Wallace has gotten cheers in Alabama. And now the Tigers trying to tie it up. Damon Duval. And the kick is good. We are all even. Syracuse at number 25, Auburn.
Well, Cooper Wallace is the beneficiary of the Cadillac. After all the times that this guy has been running, play action ends up being wide open. Campbell is thrilled. The score is tied.
Cooper Wallace, the freshman from Nashville, Tennessee, gives Auburn 17, and now tied with the Orangemen. 4 plays, 54 yards, under 2 minutes of time, and 8-yard touchdown catch. Yost kick. And it will come out to the 20.
He caught a break. That looked like it was going to go out of bounds. We talked about the fatigue of the defense. After all the plays, watch all the white shirts heading in this direction with the fake. They're tired. Now they have no recovery speed. Wallace is wide open. Just an easy gimme throw on the part of Campbell. He's thrilled, and now the score is tied. It is incumbent upon the Syracuse offense to get something going if they're going to be in this ballgame. They have yet to get a first down in this half.
They have done nothing in the second half. Anderson, 5 of 16, 67 yards, and just goose eggs and points and first downs. They need a first down, something fierce. The give is to Walter Reyes, who has a touchdown sprint, this time a pickup of 4, 2nd and 6. Carlos Dansby, the tackle.
I've been talking a lot about this, and I'm interested in your opinion. Are you surprised that Nunes hasn't been warming up? They haven't at least considered him?
Well, I think they certainly need an offensive, a change. They need to do something different. Sure. And clearly what they're doing in this half has been nothing. Why not give it a jump start? Yeah. 2nd and 6. Anderson will keep the football. And he goes down about the 30-yard line by Carlos Rogers. It is a gain of about 5.5.
Now that's one thing he does do well, and Rogers is the one that ends up paying the price. Anderson at 6'1", 232 pounds is not inclined to slide. He will lower his shoulder and go over the top of you, and that's exactly what Anderson did.
Anderson, the junior out of Plainville, Connecticut. On 3rd down conversions tonight, Syracuse just 1 for 9. The give and the first down. Walter Reyes has enough. First down of the second half for Syracuse, and it comes here in the 4th quarter.
Once again, they go out of the wishbone, and Paul Pasqualoni certainly concerned. The momentum is all orange, but not on his side.
Favorite wishbone quarterback, who would it be of all time?
The best of all time has to be Jack Mildred.
1971 Oklahoma Sooner.
Very good.
J.C. Watts was pretty good too.
So is Steve Davis, and so is Jimmy Street at Texas.
And the list goes on and on. 1st and 10 from the 31. Penalty marker goes flying. Walter Reyes with the give. And not much there. Maybe a gain of 1. Tackle by Mark Brown, the middle linebacker.
But when you're struggling offensively, you certainly don't need penalties. Let's give credit to Jack Kramer and his crew here. They've cleaned up a little bit here in the second half. Remember all the struggles with the clock and everything in the first half. Now it's a little smoother here.
5-yard penalty, still first down.
And we're all thankful for that.
Yep.
Tommy Tuberville used to be a part owner of a catfish restaurant in Tennessee. The Tubby's Pond Platter of catfish, frog legs, and pond water punch. Coaches from Syracuse don't own those kinds of restaurants. Great job by the Auburn defense on Reyes. Reggie Torbor is there for no gain.
And George DeLeon is going to have to give something else a shot here. The offensive line early in the game that was a little bit dominant is kind of stale now. Look at the penetration. Look at the 3 blue shirts who are actually on the other side of the line of scrimmage. And of course Brown, the leading tackler with 40 coming into the game, is the one to take care of it. As you see, this is George DeLeon right there, trying to come up with something that'll generate offense for the Orangemen.
On 2nd and 15, play action. Anderson wants to go long downfield into coverage, and it's incomplete. Jared Jones was the target, but well covered by Roderick Hood and Tavares Robinson. There was nobody open.
Well, there was nobody open, but there are also 2 receivers in exactly the same spot, which indicates somebody goofed up. Watch at the end of the throw. You're going to see 2 white shirts in almost identical positions. Look at this right there. That's just too close. Either that was a poorly thrown ball, but in the case of Tyree and Jones, they just couldn't get together.
3rd and long, 3rd and 15 for the Orangemen. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side for R.J. Anderson. And hit as he throws the football. Reggie Torbor, the right end from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, came firing across the line of scrimmage.
Had a conversation with defensive coordinator Gene Chiswick yesterday, and in the course of the conversation, the name Bill Walsh came up. And Bill Walsh once said that the key to winning football is a pass rush in the 4th quarter. Well, clearly Auburn's pass rushers are going to be a lot fresher than Syracuse's are.
Well, the humidity is high, and so is the heat tonight for Syracuse. About 70% humidity. That's a lot.
And remember,
not for down here, but it is for other places who come to visit. Schaefer, high spiral, and taken by Roderick Hood and stopped by David Tyree. 36-yard punt and a loss of 1. All tied up. Syracuse at Auburn. Tied up, you start thinking about Penn State and Iowa. What transpired there today?
Good analogy. Syracuse offense has just struggled mightily, and this time the numbers don't lie.
On 1st and 10 from the 43, Campbell coming near side. Obamanu makes the catch, and he is in Syracuse territory. It's a gain of 9. Tackle by Steve Gregory. Let's go to Matt Weiner now in our studio.
Jeff, Pac-10 quarterbacks putting up huge numbers today. Among them, Andrew Walter went well over 400 yards passing. This one to Mike Pincard as the Sun Devils put up 65 on Stanford.
65 on Stanford.
Ouch.
Whoa. And the give straight up the middle. It is to Carnell Williams, and Cadillac picking up 6 yards.
Well, the woes of the offense of Syracuse are spoken right there in that picture. R.J. Anderson is saying, boy, I could really use you, partner. That 85-yard punt return for a touchdown and that your one catch for 31 yards. We could use a big play.
Seeing terrific defense from Auburn tonight. In fact, they're honoring the 1957 national championship team here at Auburn, the only one they've ever had. And they, too, were defined by their great defense. 1st and 10 for the Auburn Tigers. And Jason Campbell doesn't like it. He'll come over and talk with Tommy Tuber about it. So we'll take a break here as well. 17-17, Auburn and Syracuse. The Tigers are moving. Here at Jordan-Hare Stadium, I'm Jeff Hullinger with Todd Christensen and Stacy Pates. Auburn has been threatening here in the second half, but they can't quite turn the corner. Looking at 1st and 10 in Syracuse territory. The give is to Cadillac straight ahead. And he picks up a few yards before he is stopped by Keon Walker. We have talked a lot about Keon tonight. Strong safety from Hoboken, his 7th tackle of the ball game. 2nd and 5.
That was a 32nd carry for Carnell Williams. And I was just thinking, you know how many carries those other runners have had? Smith and Brown and some of the others who had 100 yards coming into this game? Nada. Williams carried the ball every single time except for the quarterback.
2nd and 5 now. Rolling to the left. Campbell will keep the football. Loses it as he goes out of bounds. Tackled by Clifton Smith. And it's a gain of 3.
Well, there's a stunner. Number 9 all over the field making a play. That guy's just got to be tired. He just has to be gassed. You can tell by that walk he's struggling a little bit.
Look at Cadillac. Hey.
Now, see, that's interesting because coming into the game, we had heard so much about these young runners. And Tommy Tuber wasn't kidding when he said, guess what? He said Cadillac's going to get the bulk of the carries. I didn't know it was going to be unanimous.
Yeah, to what Claret is to Ohio State, Cadillac certainly is to Auburn. It defines what they do offensively. 3rd and 2. Play action across the middle. Oh, by himself is Brandon Johnson. Johnson, touchdown, Auburn leads. Yards on the touchdown. Brandon Johnson just slipped behind the defenders.
Well, they hadn't anticipated that the fullback was going to be one of the receivers, but how exciting for the youngster. Remember, he was the one that got dinged, and he's probably saying right now, hey, yo, don't be hitting me on the head like that. Remember, he sat out with what appeared to be a concussion for a time.
Damon Duval with a point after attempt. And it is good, but the penalty markers are down. That is a play the Atlanta Falcons use all the time with Bob Christian.
Prior to the snap, both start.
Christensen.
Offense.
Christian.
Be a 5-yard penalty.
I still like it.
Fine fullback from Northwestern.
Yes, he is.
And that is a play that always surprises defenses.
Sure.
You can if you have a fullback who can catch the ball, it's a great weapon.
Well, when the guy hasn't touched the ball the entire game, what do you expect? You know, of course, he's been playing decoy forever. Now, surprise, surprise, surprise.
Damon Duval with the point after attempt. And it is good. So Auburn finally has its lead on Syracuse here in the 4th quarter. 24-17. A look at Johnson.
Number 45 is at fullback right here, and he gets ignored because it's a play action kind of thing. He's going to go into the middle, and nobody's going to find him. Look at him cut right down the middle. Linebacker looks in at the quarterback. Look at him wide open. He needed to come in coverage. And there we were talking about the great play of the linebackers for Syracuse. And you know what? This is so exciting for a fullback. I remember the old line of John McKay when the fullback came into the office and said, can I touch, I want to carry the ball. And he says, okay, here you go. And that's the only time he gets to carry it. What a thrill for Johnson.
I love that story.
Campbell's pretty excited about it, too.
5 plays, 57 yards, a minute 55 at time. Johnson with 34-yard touchdown catch. And second half, it has been all Auburn. Reminder that baseball tonight is coming up next on ESPN2.
Hey, speaking of baseball tonight, did you see Bond's home run today?
I did not.
you know what? They never pitch to him, never pitch to him, never pitch to him. And you'd think he'd be stale and get fooled. It's a 2-0 count. They've been throwing all sorts of junk. The guy tries to sneak a fastball. And the next thing you know, you see 5 guys in the cove scrambling for the ball. You know what? Like him or hate him, the man is a stud.
He is an amazing athlete. Damian Rhodes will down it, and it'll come out to the 20. I want to remind you that Thursday at midnight on ESPN, you can catch the premiere of the latest series from ESPN Original Entertainment. This is going to be great. Let me tell you, the season, SEC football, follows the cheerleaders and students and parties and everybody around here. Thursday night, you can see how the folks here of Auburn are prepared for Syracuse, and we got to be a part of the show a little bit.
We did indeed, but I find it interesting as you watch Tommy Tuberville. Everybody's happy because they're 3-1. If they'd have had the Tiger Walk at halftime, right?
He'd have got hit by a few tomatoes.
Took it out of here. Now suddenly he's smart again.
New quarterback Troy Nunes in for Syracuse. Trying to jumpstart something here. And a handoff to Damian Rhodes up to the 25. It's a gain of 5. Tackled by Junior Rosegreen. Offense in the second half. Auburn 190 yards. Syracuse only 33.
Only 33 yards. And as you looked at those numbers at Troy Nunes, you're thinking to yourself, well, those don't look too scintillating. But the reality is Syracuse has to try something. They've got to go with Nunes, who I believe is the better thrower.
2nd and 5 for the Orangemen. Ball at the 25-yard line. Trailing by a touchdown. Reverse coming. David Tyree trapped, in trouble. Down he goes. Jay Ratliff among many. The left end. It's a loss of 11.
Well, Jay Ratliff was not the only guy that stayed at home. Take a look to the right. Now watch the blue shirts. Supposedly they're supposed to go with the flow. Instead, what ends up happening? It's not long enough. It needs to be elongated. Absolutely not fooled was Ratliff, and Dansby right there also in on the tackle.
3rd and long. 3rd and 15. Nunes wants to throw. Has time. And it is caught at the 27-yard line by Jared Jones, a gain of 12. And a penalty marker is down at the 4-yard line. Maybe a personal foul.
Looked to me like maybe they hit Nunes late. And boy, that's going to be a gift, because the pass was not long enough to get the first down. But if it is roughing the passer, Syracuse gets its 2nd first down of the second half.
Roughing the passer against the defense. 15-yard penalty. Tack on the end of the run. First down.
Boy, what a break for Syracuse. They needed it then, and they got it.
And Tuberville is very upset, but he's screaming at the wrong guys. The call's made by the referee. He's in the middle of the field. Here it is just at the end of the play. There's the throw running in. See, that's needless. Unfortunately, that's just needless on the part of Dante Booker. Watch him. Does he get his hands underneath? Oh, goodness. That ball looked like it hit the grass.
1st and 10 from the 42-yard line of the Orangemen. Nunes on the give to Damian Rhodes. And Rhodes runs in to the appreciative arms of Mark Brown. It's no gain.
Here's another look at the reception. Watch the head of the football right here at the end. Watch right here at the grass. Does it get in? Or his arms? Oh,
trap.
There it is. That's a trap. Got away with one there. Jared Jones does the right thing, though. I can tell you from personal experience. You pull the thing up, hold it up, and if the official didn't see it, it's a gift. You take care of it.
Your mother didn't teach you that, though, did she? 2nd and 9. And again, straight ahead, they're running the football. Damian Rhodes picks up 5 yards, tackled by Mark Brown and Jay Ratliff.
Interesting, the magic number being 20 where the Auburn football team is concerned. Score 20 points, 22-1, under 20, 2-15. So, you know, you don't have to be Fellini to figure out, because here it is right here. But now that they have Nunes in the game, it seems to me they've got a little pep going.
Tommy Tuberville also 1 win shy of 50 in 7+ years as head coach. 2 of 12 on 3rd down conversions. Troy Nunes is the quarterback. 4 receivers, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Quick drop, slant, and catch is made by Jared Jones. It's a pickup of 7 and enough for a first down. Tackled by Junior Rosegreen.
Interesting that he's turned to Jones, the sophomore from Somerville, New Jersey. Now, the accuracy problems that Anderson had been having, that doesn't seem to be the case with Nunes. That's a very difficult throw. Threw it right in there between the 1 and the 2.
You called it earlier in the second half that it was time for a change with Nunes, and it's starting to really to pay some dividends here for him. 1st and 10 in Auburn territory. Rolling, throwing, and hanging the ball up, and juggling, incomplete. Travaris Robinson was juggling the football. It was sort of the dance of the sabers along the near sideline and couldn't bring it in. It's incomplete.
Nunes is fortunate to get this back for this reason. He had an opportunity to come underneath, but he had it in his head that he wanted to throw the corner route, but it was well covered. There's 2 blue shirts in coverage right here. There's the pop-up. Now see the catch. Now see if he's bobbling the ball. Right there he's bobbling the ball. Is he still bobbling it? Yes. Good call by the official. Very good. Right on top of it.
2nd and 10 from the 47-yard line. Here's Nunes with time. And he will go down at the 45-yard line by Jay Ratliff. It's a gain of 3.
But that's still okay. With 3:14 in the clock running, I'm guessing that this is 4-down territory anyway.
Right.
And so now this affords George DeLeon, offensive coordinator, a chance to play with this, where normally he's got to get all 8 yards here. He can think about, you know what, just something basic. Off tackle, draw something like that they may not be thinking about.
Or you can break off a big game.
Exactly.
3rd and 7. Nunes firing and completing at the 30-yard line. 1st down, catch made by Andre Fontenette. It's a gain of 14 yards, and here come the Orangemen.
Now, Nunes is not known for his scrambling ability, but he showed a great arm right there. He has good protection. He steps up in the pocket. He actually throws off the wrong foot. Take a look now. He looks at, he's going through his progression. Not there. Now watch when he throws off the wrong foot, off his right foot. He has to generate all of that with his arm and puts it right on the money. Great play by number 11.
1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Nunes again wants to throw. Rolling left. Throwing across the middle, and it's complete. At the 21-yard line again, Andre Fontenette. And the tackle made by Robinson. It's a gain of 9.
And what do they always tell quarterbacks? They say, hey, you know what? Don't throw across your body and don't throw to the middle of the field. Well, guess what? With 2:15 in the clock running, you got to do something to make a play. And Nunes, as we pointed out, not necessarily a clone of Steve Young. Look at what he has done this particular drive. He's been outstanding.
Auburn came in ranked 10th in the SEC against the pass. 2nd and 1. And the give is straight ahead to Walter Reyes. And Junior Rosegreen is there to pound him. It's no gain.
Now, this is a little more costly than you might think. I think that Nunes might want to take a timeout. They just assumed they were going to get the 1st down and the clock was going to stop. But now the clock is rolling with 1:41.
Let's check in with Stacy Pates.
An update from the Syracuse sidelines. R.J. Anderson was stunned on his last play. He was hit in the head. He's not feeling right. Trainers tell me he is not coming back.
All right, 3rd and 1 for Syracuse. Nunes firing and completing. Great catch made by Jared Jones. A pickup of 8. 1st down, Orangemen. Rogers on the tackle for Auburn.
Nunes does a great job as he comes back from the snap. Doesn't look right away, then suddenly he turns and throws a dart. Watch his head, looks downfield, now he comes. All right, that enables the receiver to stay away from the free safety. He looks him off. Great job by Nunes.
1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Syracuse needing a touchdown. Nunes throwing, completing. The catch is made by Fontenette, and he is down to about the 3-yard line. We are inside a minute left in the ball game. Tackled by Robinson.
Now the question is going to be asked Paul Pasqualoni, win or lose, is going to be, why didn't you do this sooner? Nunes is just fantastic at this point. Now he's trying. I'm surprised they're doing this here. They've got timeouts. They've got all 3 of their timeouts left. Huh?
1st and goal from the 2. Nunes on the give, straight ahead. Now he's got nothing. Jay Ratliff is there. No gain.
How many times have we seen it when they get down to the 1 or 2 yard line, they pile everybody in? Why is it I never see on first down guy go with a bootleg? That's when you go with the play action.
30 seconds left in the ball game. Both clubs have 2 timeouts left. Auburn leading. The 15th play of the drive coming up, Todd.
And they've gone with a 3 wide receiver package. I think this is a good idea for this reason. You can get safeties out of run support that way. 2nd and goal from the 2.
Nunes rolling, in trouble, throwing, and it is touchdown, David Tyree for Syracuse.
What a catch!
Whoa, a 2-yard touchdown catch with a degree of difficulty of 10.
And Nunes is an absolute magician. He's 7 for 8 on this drive and delivers this ball in a sea of blue shirts. Just a great job. Chris Davis, the fullback, puts a tremendous block to get him to the outside.
Colin Barber with a point after attempt to tie the football game with 23 seconds left. Barber's kick is good. And we are all tied up at 24 all with 23 seconds remaining. So visions of Penn State and Iowa, who went to overtime before the Hawkeyes were able to secure a victory in Happy Valley.
I genuinely thought that when they went with a 3 wide receiver package, they were going to run, but instead they decided to roll out on a run-pass option. Watch the block right here. Springs him to the outside. He gets Dansby on the ground. Now he's not sure. He knows he's not going to outrun him. Look at that Quail, and look at Tyree come underneath. One of the blue shirts needed to lay out, or at least put a hand on it. Now look for yourself if number 81 gets his hands underneath it. He does indeed. Great catch.
Nunes on the drive, 7 of 8, 62 yards. The drive, 15 plays, 80 yards. And a 2-yard touchdown catch.
You know what? That was, did you notice, that was kind of a muted celebration. I think there's some serious fatigue over there on that sideline. And of course, frustration of the first 7 drives, but the one reason why this one seemed to work, you're looking at right there. Number 11 comes in and does his Frank Reich impersonation.
He does indeed.
Wow.
The Buffalo Bill action. Man out of Maryland who was a magician at those comebacks. Now here's great relief pitcher.
Here's the question you always ask here with 23 seconds remaining in the game. Don't you just kick it deep? Every time they scoop kick and they get it to 49, I need to figure that out. There you go.
And it is high, and it will be returned by Roderick Hood. And Hood is thrown out of bounds, short of the 20-yard line. Thursday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. It's Bowden Bowl 4 as running back Greg Jones. Florida State hosts quarterback Willie Simmons and Clemson. College football Thursday brought to you by Circuit City on ESPN. See if Florida State can rally after what occurred in Louisville.
We're talking about the number of people that maybe Syracuse is running out of. Guess who made the tackle? David Tyree, the guy that just scored the touchdown. Makes the tackle on the kickoff coverage. Amazing.
19 seconds left. Well, Auburn will just down it and play for the overtime.
Well, guess what? You know, if you were watching earlier today on ESPN and you saw the Iowa-Penn State game and thought, you know what a thriller that was going into overtime. There's no way they're going to duplicate that. Well, you were wrong.
I did not think Iowa was going to win that football when it went to overtime, the way the momentum had changed. Well, down 23 points at one point, Penn State.
Okay, so where's the momentum now?
Well, it's been with Auburn most of the night, but it's shifted back to Syracuse.
Well, who knows, though, right? Because they're so tired.
Tired or not, it's on to overtime here at Jordan-Hare in Auburn, Alabama. Tigers and the Orangemen are all tied at 24. Overtime.
That's right. And, of course, you know, if you've been watching enough football, I don't have to explain it to you in terms of the operation, how things change, and ultimately, if it gets to that third overtime, the 2-point conversion. You know what I'm thinking right now is that if the coin toss, of course, you want to go on defense. But I'm thinking that Syracuse's defense has to be just so fatigued right now. And, of course, conversely, the one guy on the field who's not tired Troy Nunes.
Yeah.
So he's hot. I wouldn't think that it's possible if Syracuse wins the toss that they might not want to go on offense.
Interesting thought.
Yeah.
All right,
Sure enough, it's Syracuse going on offense, and I don't think that Paul Pasqualoni's all that upset. Hey, they got it going right. They're hot. Might as well.
Nunes was absolutely masterful on that last drive. Let's see if he can keep it rolling. How about the second half? It has certainly had its share of ups and downs for Auburn.
Well, it has indeed. Johnson sneaks out of the backfield, gets a touchdown, and at that point you thought that Auburn was just going to hang in there, but instead Nunes comes off the bench, plays the hero, gets the ball to Tyree, and justifiably excited, and now he comes out to do it again. Not bad numbers right there.
All right, here we go into overtime. On 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for Syracuse. And on the give, it is Walter Reyes, picks up 2, tackled by Junior Rosegreen. To bring up 2nd and 8.
Have you ever watched an overtime game or been to one or broadcast one where the first play is not a handoff to the tailback off tackle?
Well, there's a certain
I'm
conservative thought of
I understand, but the point is then is that if you decided to go with the reverse or a bootleg or something like that, everybody would be stunned.
But you can get so conservative in these kinds of instances where you're so afraid to make a mistake.
That's right. Good point.
That you try to insure against one.
Yep.
2nd and 9 for Syracuse. Wide formation behind Nunes. Pitch, Damian Rhodes. And Rhodes is pushed out of bounds by Horace Willis, the left cornerback, his 2nd tackle.
They have not run that option the entire game, and it's a great call. It's the misdirection option that you see frequently now. Fake left and go right. Now watch as he cuts upfield. He's got a blocker and his wide receiver. Cut to the inside. Cut to the inside. Instead, he runs out of bounds. If he cuts behind Tyree, he gets the first down.
Yeah. All right, here we go. 3rd and 4 from the 19-yard line. Penalty markers go fly.
No. You know what? That shouldn't be the case. You could see that Nunes was screaming, coming over to the official, trying to get a timeout because somehow the 25-second clock had fooled.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Evidently, you know what? Evidently, Nunes saw it. Nunes saw it and wanted to fool him and get the timeout first. Joe Donnelly, the tight end, comes in for Lenny Cusimano. But they already had all the people on the field, so with 12 people on the field, the official had to call it.
So that makes it a little bit tougher, 3rd and 9. Going about 3rd and 8.5 here. Nunes, quick throw, and it's complete down to the 9. Penalty marker goes flying after Jared Jones makes the catch. A gain of 15 yards.
Jared Jones is coming of age. He has made some great catches. I think that's defensive pass interference, and they'll let that go and take the play.
From Somerville, New Jersey, is Jared Jones, 5'11", 190.
Defense, penalties decline. 1st down.
I think that's about the 4th slant route that Nunes has had. But he had people right in his face, and he ends up getting knocked down here, 3rd and 8. Take a look at the people in his face right there. Throws it. Has to throw over the top. Good call by the official, but great concentration on the part of Jones with the defender draped all over it.
1st and goal for Syracuse. Troy Nunes at quarterback. Blitz coming from Auburn. And the handoff is to Walter Reyes, and Reyes is brought down by Wayne Dickens, the left tackle. It's a loss of 1.
One time here. One time if they go with a bootleg. He has yet to do that. He has yet to bootleg. And he has all that green on the one side of the field.
And a reminder that Baseball Tonight is coming up next on ESPN2. 2nd and goal. Nunes on the pitch. It's to Reyes. And he picks up about 4 yards, maybe 3 with the spot, tackled by Mark Brown.
I'm telling you, they must have some real confidence in Nunes here to keep getting down to third down where you know he's probably going to have to throw, and he's been delivering time and time again. 9 for 10 now at this point. One good thing we need to remind our viewers here. One good thing for Syracuse. The defense here with the 5-minute gap and now with this drive is getting some rest.
3rd and goal from the 7. Here comes the blitz. Rolling. Looking is Nunes. In trouble, and down he goes. Carlos Dansby on the blitz. It's a loss of 8.
Dansby has been their big play defender throughout this year. Auburn has been able to get 37 points in their first 4 games off of his turnovers. And in this case, Dansby is out in coverage, but now he says, no, I'm coming. I am coming. And really, that's a situation where he should have thrown that away. Nunes needed to get rid of that because now it's a 32-yarder.
32-yard attempt by Colin Barber. In trouble. And down he goes, Jared Jones. And Auburn survives on this possession.
Hard to tell if it was a bad snap or if Jones just dropped it. But boy, oh boy, evidently D'Amato, he's a walk-on. Jeff, he's a walk-on. They had regular snappers, but he had played so well in the preseason, they gave him the job.
Thinking Fumblerooski there for a moment.
Oh, look at that. It ends up hitting his guard. The ball ricochets off of Kevin Sampson, who's right next to him. Jones does whatever he can. Wow, how frustrating for the Orange.
All right, here comes Auburn.
I'm thinking a lot of Carnell Williams here. What do you think?
It makes sense. 1st and 10 from the 25. And the give is to Carnell Williams. Williams making a great move and spinning down to the 11-yard line. Gashlin on the tackle. It's a gain of 14. You, sir, are the offensive coordinator of the moment.
Now the decision, the difficult, well, not so difficult decision, but it can be a trying one, is for Bobby Petrino, offensive coordinator, and Tommy Tuberville to say, hey, you know what? Are we going to get to the middle of the field for the field goal and just set it up, or are we going to try and go for a touchdown? In a lot of cases, you might not want to put the pressure on the kicker, because don't forget, Damon Duvall is only 3 for 6 on the season.
1st and 10 from the 11-yard line for Auburn. The handoff is to Cadillac up the middle. Taking tacklers with him, and now gang tackled at long last. O'Neal Scott is the first of many. It's a pickup of 5 yards.
Well, of course, now he's in the middle of the field. You see Duvall working on his shoe to make sure he's got everything right. I notice he has those cool shoes, those Morton Anderson ones. You know, with the laces off to the side.
The one you pay a lot of money for?
Yeah. Well, they're still good looking. Check those out. Sweet.
Williams, 34 carries, 182 yards. 2nd and 5.
Oh, goodness.
And jumping offside, the Orangeman.
Oh, that was motion. That was motion by Mark Pear, the left tackle.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
And you can see the consternation on his face. What else can go wrong here? They fumbled, they made mistakes, they can't get it going. How hard is this? You know you're just running the ball.
10 penalties against Auburn for 76 yards tonight.
But in fairness to Pear, you know what? You pointed it out on numerous occasions. The heat and humidity, you know what? It gets to you.
All right, 2nd and 10 from the 11-yard line. And the give is to Carnell Williams. Jamil Dumas is there. It's a gain of 1.
And Dumas opts to go after the ball, and we take a look at Duvall, and they've decided this is what they're going to do.
All right.
Now, of course, you're aware of this. The reason they're doing it now on 3rd down is because if what happens to them, what happened to Syracuse happens to them, they can just fall on the ball and come up with a 4th down. If for whatever reason there's a bad snap or a bad hold, they just hold on to it and give it another shot. But in this case, the ball is right down in the middle of the field. Williams did a nice job of doing that. 27-yarder.
Damon Duvall from 27 yards out in the overtime. And the kick is blocked.
What an effort!
Blocked by Syracuse. The defense coming through. It's Jeremiah Mason.
Jeremiah Mason comes up at the top. Wow, what a play! He shows his vertical, number 24. He's the jumper. Wow, what a play!
A redshirt freshman delivers on the field goal attempt by Damon Duval.
What a great effort on the part of Mason. And the thing that he does so well is it's just a little bit, just slightly, he has to hook it. You saw that it wasn't quite in the middle, and Mason does a great job of being right where the football is going to be. Watch 24 come to the left of your screen. He's going to come over the top. Take a look at him go. He's up. He's got it. Unbelievable.
Man of the moment, Jeremiah Mason, the redshirt freshman, who comes through with a block on Damon Duval. And you know, that motion penalty really looks large right now, doesn't it?
It does. But they get a great push. The people up front were able to get a great push. Ferrara is able to get a great push. Take a look at, they push the guy back, and that enables him to get up. Now, you and I have been watching the games all the time.
Here's Cadillac, who gets the call on the left side, and Keon Walker making the stop. No gain.
The point I was about to make is that how many times do we hear of some guy that has a 40-inch vertical or 39 or 42? You and I both roll our eyes. I don't know what Mason's vertical is, but it was good enough right there.
Absolutely taking it up top, to use the basketball term. The rejection. Now Auburn looking at 2nd and 10. 25.
You're a former Sky King. You would know that.
Soaring above the rest. Out of the shotgun. Jason Campbell on the quarterback draw. And brought down at the 18 by O'Neal Scott. His 7th tackle. Pickup of 7. Nice job by Jason Campbell.
Obviously, picking up the first down is crucial. But having said that, if they're not able to pick up the first down, when you come out again as a kicking team, you don't feel very good about yourself. You feel a little bit discombobulated, and then you try too hard and get out of yourself a little bit.
Player injured right now is O'Neal Scott. God, how winded are these teams right now? I mean, geez, walking dead.
Yeah, you know, the way he's stretching right now, it certainly seemed to indicate cramps. You got to get some fluids in him. So easy to say that up here. I'm telling you, these games. I remember when I was playing in Miami and some of the other humid locales. Oh man, I had a teammate one time in a game like this. It was a game. It was maybe a little bit harder. It lost 18 pounds in just the one game.
Dangerous.
Wow.
Baseball tonight coming up next. Bo Jackson was a teammate of yours for the Raiders.
He was. He was amazing. The genetic gods were extremely kind to Vincent Bo Jackson.
Can't go anywhere in this town without a framed picture of him in every room, every building. Campbell rolling right, looking, firing, and it is complete to Marcel Willis, who makes the grab. It's a gain of 12 yards. Tackled by Steve Gregory.
And ever since Campbell came in the game to play quarterback, we have not called that name. We have not called the name Marcel Willis. But this time, when he's able to roll outside of the pocket and buy time, Willis on the comeback route is able to come back and make the catch. Here he buys time. Of course, the play action is going to be great because Williams has carried the ball 900 times. Take a look as he comes back to the ball. That's very tough on a corner, in this case, Gregory.
1st and goal from the 6. Campbell on the give to Cadillac, trying to turn the corner. A race to the end zone. Touchdown! Carnell Williams, the Cadillac, finding the corner of the end zone. 6-yard touchdown.
Anthony Smith is the free safety who replaced O'Neal Scott. And he just gets juked. And it's amazing to me that Williams, after all these carries, can put the move that he just did in the open field. Wow.
What a run by Carnell Williams.
This also shows how important you are to the team, okay? When a guy gets hurt, usually one trainer comes out. In this case, 3 trainers come out. And if Tuberville didn't have his headset on, he'd sprint out there too.
I'm telling you, there are 83,667 who want to come out and help him to his feet.
To his feet, yeah.
All right, Damon Duval for the point after attempt.
Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun when a guy's as good as advertised? Isn't that fun?
He is amazing. Join the long list of tremendous running backs here at Auburn. 37 carries, 187 yards, and 1 touchdown. Those 37 carries are a career high for Cadillac. Duvall's point after attempt is good. All right, so it's 41 carries now. Let's update that.
Take a look at the move as he cuts to the outside. Anthony Smith has him right there. Now watch the move, he jukes it. That's an experience. You can see his head actually duck. In the football nomenclature, that's what's known as losing your jock. In the basketball lexicon, it's known as getting your ankles broken. But Williams right there, a little bit of hesitation, cuts to the outside, and that powerful 5'11", 205 is not to be denied.
All right, time to see if Syracuse can answer with Troy Nunes at quarterback. He has been terrific here in the second half in relief of R.J. Anderson, 8 of 9, 76 yards. And the give straight ahead up to the 20. It's a gain of 5 for Walter Reyes as Mark Brown makes the stop. 2nd and 5.
I like the play calling here by George DeLeon. You know what? Time's not a factor. It doesn't matter. You don't have to score right away. 5-yard pickup, not bad. And if you're on the defense now, what are you doing? Oh no, they got okay. Now they've got their options.
Damian Rhodes checks into the ball game. Number 1 behind Troy Nunes. The pitch is to Rhodes. Rhodes wants to throw. In trouble. Shifting direction. Now throwing the football, and it is caught by Troy Nunes.
Are you kidding me?
Did he make the catch? Nunes made the catch, the quarterback.
That was not a planned play. So many times you've seen that the handoff on the throwback, that was not a planned play.
A pickup of 15 yards on super flea flicker.
Oh, Nunes pitches the ball, and for all intents and purposes, now Nunes is right here. Take a look at him. Now he's scrambling around. Now watch what Nunes does. I'm gone. Here, give it a shot. He sees him, throws it. It looks like it's going to be, look at that. He catches it and falls backwards. What a great play by number 11.
First and goal from the 4. The give straight ahead to Chris Davis, the fullback. And about 1 yard. Mile.
Chris Davis, the team barber, needed to shave a little bit more off the yardage there to get in the end zone.
So are you more impressed with Nunes, the thrower, or the receiver?
Well, I'm telling you right now, I mean, obviously, if we had the old players of the game for both sides, obviously Cadillac, but you got to give it to Nunes, passing and catching. Wow.
2nd and goal from the 2, Wishbone.
4 downs here.
The handoff and the touchdown. Walter Reyes in for 6. His 2nd touchdown of the ball game.
That play has been very good to them. The left halfback with the lead back out of the wishbone.
And the Orangemen answer. Now Colin Barber, the point after attempt. On the chant at Jordan Hare. Block that kick.
I'll tell you, a swinging gate right here. What do you think? Okay. Because now we're heading into the 3rd one. We got to go for 2, right?
Overtime.
That would have been courageous.
Barber, the point after attempt is good.
Now be honest with me here. Did you think that after Auburn scored that Syracuse could come back out here and score again?
No.
But they did. Reyes in for the score. How great is this? There's certainly more proof that this was not a planned play. Now keep your eye on Nunes. The receivers are going to come down. He wants to throw the post route. Watch Nunes as he comes over. He does not come over there and run the route, but instead he stops and watches the play. He's just standing right there watching the play. Now as he cuts back against the grain, Nunes says, oh my gosh, he's in trouble. I'm taking off. I'm going to take off. Watch this catch. What a great catch. It was behind him and he reached back and made it. Fantastic.
That is amazing. Teams combined for 154 plays tonight. 799 offensive yards, 36 first downs. 1st and 10 from the 25 for Syracuse. The pitch coming to the near side, and down goes Walter Reyes. It's a loss of 5. Fine job by Junior Rosegreen, the strong safety.
Great penetration, but now Rosegreen is hurting a little bit. Oh, he's just coming over to dust off his helmet. I guess he's all right.
Don't take off those helmets in the NFL these days.
No, that's a very good point. Take a look now as he comes to the outside. Rosegreen comes up. Shoestring tackle at the 30-yard line. Most certainly Syracuse is going to have to throw him in.
2nd and 15 now from the 30-yard line. We'll go with 3 receivers. 2 to the top of your screen. 1 to the bottom. Setting up the screen. And Walter Reyes tackled by Mark Brown. It's a gain of 3.
Mark Brown makes a great play. Mark Brown is not fooled by the screen, but if he does not make the tackle, take a look in the middle. Now watch right here. It's a middle screen, lets everybody go. He's got white shirts in front of him. Brown is able to duck away from the block, sprint forward, and get Reyes. Well, that's a very athletic play by number 52.
Now you've got 3rd and long, 3rd and 12 from the 27. And a timeout. Syracuse. Troy Nunes will come over.
Here's the consideration that Paul Pasqualoni and George DeLeon have to think about here. And that is right now you're looking at about a 44-yard field goal. 3rd and 12, the chances of coming up with that are not terribly good. I'm thinking that a play along the lines of getting to the middle of the field, knock that off about 5-6 yards, because as you and I have talked about throughout the year, the difference between field goals inside the 40 versus outside the 40, it drops precipitously when it's outside of 40 yards.
Huge. In the overtime, it has been unbelievable at times.
Yeah, the snap was just unfortunate. It ricochets off the guard. You're thinking, okay, game's over. Instead, Mason with the high leap and blocks it. Now they turn around and you think, well, they're going to be a little bit depressed, but instead, Carnell Williams shows the juke and hits the pylon. Now you're thinking to yourself, well, this is over, because you know that Syracuse is too, what? They're not too tired? They're still in this thing? Wow, triple overtime.
3rd and long coming up. 3rd and 12 from the 27-yard line for the Orangemen.
They might consider that screen again. Why not?
Nunes wants to throw, deep drop. And short hops the ball to David Tyree. It'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it appeared that he was throwing to Jones. Tyree was on the crossing route and he was open. Now we see Colin Barber. This, you know what, folks? 43, 44-yarder, that's hardly automatic. And of course, now you have to deal with the mindset of D'Amato in terms of the snap.
44-yard attempt by Colin Barber. He is hit from 27 tonight.
Notice the leg right there of Sampson this time. Gives him plenty of room.
Kick is long enough, and it is good.
That was clutch.
Collins Barber from 44 yards out has given the Orangemen a lead at 34-31.
Now you're asking that that Syracuse defense to go out there and make one more stand. They have got to be so fatigued, so tired. This is just tremendous drama. Oh, these young kids are just putting it all out here. This is great.
Syracuse, a big underdog coming
Huge.
into Auburn, Alabama. And that line was moving up as the week progressed. But not unlike what we saw from Cincinnati last week against Ohio State. They have absolutely risen.
Snap is right on the money, and Barber really punches this one. Shoot, that would have been good from about 54.
Jason Campbell wants to throw. Deep drop. And dumping it across the middle. The catch is made by Lorenzo Diamond. And he is run out of bounds at the 14-yard line by Rich Scanlon. A gain of 11. And enough for an Auburn Tiger first down.
I didn't understand the secondary for Syracuse on that because they backpedaled so far. Diamond, look at how, now watch how far back they backpedal, and Diamond is just on this easy little crossing delay route, and nobody goes with him. All the white shirts are far too far down the field. That's an easy catch and throw for a first.
1st and 10 from the 14. And the handoff is to Cadillac. Churning ahead, Julian Pollard making the stop. It's a pickup of 2. It'll bring up 2nd and 8. We have seen a lot of great overtime games in the last few days on ESPN and ESPN2. We're talking about Louisville and Florida State. We're thinking about Iowa today and the victory over Penn State, and now here at Auburn with Syracuse.
Well, I'm just a hair biased, but I do believe I like this one the best.
2nd and 8 from the 12. Give. It's the Cadillac, and look at him slash through there. Clifton Smith making the stop. It's a gain of about 5 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd and short.
Now, once again, Bobby Petrino and the offensive staff, what are they going to do? They're close enough that this should be a gimme field goal, but that's what they thought last time. Now, do you have the faith in Campbell to give him the opportunity to throw? You can see that number. Holy cow. I wouldn't have thought that.
Cadillac 39 carries, 195 yards, and a touchdown. 3rd and 3. The give is to Cadillac. Cadillac turning, shooting, touchdown Auburn. Tigers win. A player who absolutely has defined Auburn tonight. One of the great performances that you will see, and there have been some great ones in this stadium at running back over the years. But what Carnell Williams did tonight against Syracuse was about as good as it gets in college football. 40 carries, 202 yards, 2 touchdowns, including the game winner.
To say that he is a workhorse is just an understatement. He cuts to the outside. The angle taken by the outside linebacker is poor, but you can see the defenders are a little bit fatigued. Williams is unbelievable tonight. Let's go down to Stacey Pates.
Coach Tuberville, my goodness, what a game. One word, Cadillac.
I'm getting too old for this, too, but thank goodness for Cadillac. You know, we didn't play very good the first half, but we fought back and got in overtime, and our guys played hard, and our fans did a great job.
Coach, you've got a week off next week. What a blessing. You guys will need it to rest after 3 overtimes. Talk about who will you start? Have you decided between Campbell and Cobb?
Well, we just have to wait and see how Daniel is. He's got a bad sprained ankle, so we'll have to wait and see if he can come back and practice. But 5 games in the month of September, these guys have paid the price, and we've gotten a lot better.
Coach, 4 wins in a row. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, I have Cadillac. Cadillac! Buddy, what a great game for you. Talk about 3 overtimes, buddy. You must be tired.
Oh, yeah. First, I want to just give our praise to the Lord. Give me the strength to do it. But I'm pretty tired. We really set it up in overtime. The whole time we came ahead of time. You know, we felt like we were in the game the whole time. So we just came out second and executed our offense.
Well, thank you very much. Congratulations. 3 overtimes, but you walk home with a win.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, Stacey and Cadillac, thank you. 5 games in 25 days. 37-34, Auburn in overtime. Up next is Baseball Tonight. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Todd Christensen, Stacey Pates, and our entire ESPN2 crew, I'm Jeff Hullinger. For summaries and stats of this game, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football.
This is a great college town. Everything thrives in this community around this university. There's so much tradition. Everything within 30 miles here kind of centers around the university and the athletic program.
I like everything about Coach Tuberville. He's a great guy. He comes in here and mingles with the crowd just like one of the guys. And if there's a table out there, he'll sit down and join in with anybody and everybody. I've never seen anybody come in here that didn't, when they walk out of here, didn't stop by and tell us. He's one of the nicest, greatest people that, that they've met.
Man, what you doing? Shooting grenades or something, man? Shoot me. Come on, we ready though. Hey, I'm going next. What is it? I got your back, Spence. You killed somebody there, buddy. Kill somebody there, buddy. Watch this. Watch I kill somebody.
That's something we do, you know, to pass the time or whatever. Be together all the time here at football practice and you know, on the field. It's just time for us to get together and just, you know, just talk and have fun, just fellowship with each other.
Man, somebody just picking with me, man.
Killed him, dog. Yeah. Nah, man. I can't wait till y'all leave so I can get me a nap.
Y'all true, man.
You know, we just gather around, like you said, Monday, play Xbox. You know, that's one day that we don't have to, you know, got to watch film or, you know, all the football mind part about it. We just get some social time.
I like touchdown.
You gonna do War Eagle one time? Do it. Well, it feels pretty good. You know, you get to go home and relax a little bit, get to play with Xavier a little bit, and just sit home and live the family life. You know, it's real exciting for me. I love going home every day to my family. You know, everybody knows that Tuesday's gonna be hard, you know, because you know they basically give us a day off on Monday. You know, they trying to make up for that day on Monday, I guess. But you know, we go out and we bust it hard on Tuesday. You know, that's really a day that we're gonna work real hard. You know, because the rest of the week is gonna be kind of lax.
Tuesday is it's a lower body day for us, and it's a heavier day. You're not going to see anybody setting world records in here, that's for sure.
Then let's go standing V again. Let's get them out wider. Try to reach back further.
Well, the one thing that we've had to do this week is we've had to pace ourselves because, again, we're used to playing a game and 4 days later turn around and playing another game. This week it's been kind of slowed down a little bit, slow pace, so that we don't have to cram everything in 1 or 2 days. 250 scouting report. Position meetings at 3. How long y'all need? All right. So we'll start stretch at 4:15. No, everybody just go out and stretch, and we'll start punt at 4:25. So you got 10 minutes to stretch. So then let's take 25 minutes to scouts. How'd that look?
Not bad. Just going to get that timing down of what we're going to be doing.
Anything else? All right.
What we expect from Syracuse is they're going to give us something that we haven't seen before. They've played a lot of different fronts. They're going to give you every blitz in the book, every coverage. So it's going to be important for us to be ready in every facet of the game.
I think we overcome adversity pretty well. Now we have to overcome success. Going back against a non-conference team that's very talented, a good football team that gave us an old-fashioned whipping last year on their turf. I don't think we'll have any problems getting our team ready to play, and we're way past what I thought we'd be this early in the season.
It's going pretty good. I mean, I respect that, you know, to come out, we got to play hard against these guys. I mean, you got to be really prepared for them. I mean, they do a lot of good things that really take advantage of the defense. So we respected it, and we're just going out and practice. I mean, that's part of playing football.
Get off, man. Get off. Scouts, let's go. Everybody go. Go, Shirley, let's go.
Look pretty good there.
Come on, 54.
It's going to be a short kick.
Here we go now.
There you go. Catch it. Catch it.
Get off the block. Ball.
Roger, every good return you've ever had is when you never break stride. You just got to get just got to hit it. Every good return you've had, you've been able to just turn it forward and just let it eat.
Come on, Jax. That's where you're supposed to run, Book. You're supposed to run like that every time. Every time. Let's go. Marco.
Nice and cool night. This is probably the best weather we've had for practice, I think, all year. You know, it can't be over 75 degrees out here, so we had good tempo and put a lot of the new stuff in today and executed most of it well. But we'll get into the film room tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, and then come back tomorrow afternoon and polish it up some more.
It's a non-conference game, but it's a big non-conference game, and it can give us some rank or they can get them some rank. So we're really going to try to play hard and come out on top.
This is a game that we owe them because they embarrassed us on national television last year, and, you know, it's just time for payback.
31-14, that's all you need to think about all week. National TV, they whooped our ass. Shine. Let's go get back, man. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win!
Buy a large one-topping pizza for $9.99.
Typically at 6:30 in the morning, we have our early morning treatments. It's the one time we can capture them without having to worry about class, meetings, practice. We can get the main treatment of the day in.
It's the best time. Just do this before class. Makes you feel a little bit better. Plus, I mean, if you can get it done early enough, you can maybe go back to sleep for a little bit. But other than that, just because you have to, if you don't do this, it's going to be a real bad time to practice. It all pays off in the end, so you know you can't get to the end where you want to go without some hard work, and this is unfortunately part of it. Getting up early every day.
How do y'all feel about three-man rush? I don't know. Other than not liking it.
I think what we're doing is good.
I mean, I'm not saying stay in three-man rush and let them pack them all day. I'm saying give them a three-man rush.
And bring the deep.
Yeah, eventually.
And the reason I played college football is because I knew I wanted to coach. And I felt like if I played college football and had that experience, it would help me, you know, down the road as I started working up through the coaching ranks, and it really did. I can't imagine not playing college football and end up coaching college football. It's kind of a, you know, you really need to understand what the players go through.
Coach Tuberville's on his way to your classroom. All set. Let me stick this. Hey, Coach Tuberville.
Can we come in for a few minutes?
Sure can.
We got a couple of cameramen here.
Oh, okay. Hey, what's he doing?
I've had so many coaches tell me, listen, spend as much time as you can with your kids because you'll turn around, they'll be in college before you know it. Tucker he always was excited about seeing me. Now he's got to the age where he's grown up, and he says, Dad, you embarrass me when you come have lunch with me.
Kate and tell her Dad's here for lunch.
Well, this week, you know, we really try to prepare for Syracuse. You know, they come in 1-2, but at the same time, they were 1-2 last year. So we just trying to make sure the same outcome doesn't happen this year.
Go down. Hut. Get on back. You better get back. Get down, let's go. Come on, get back. Sit back, tackle.
Start paying attention, damn meeting.
They know what they're talking about, you know, and we don't mind taking the criticism from them and everything. But, you know, it's great playing for them. You know, never a dull moment out there, you know. Bottom line is they get the job done.
Hey, that's not going to win. You got to sell, you're going fade. Back up a little bit, Bert. There's no way that's going to win. Avoid him like that?
Preparation is the key to success, so you get that done during the week. Film study, out at practice, carrying what you learn in the film room or on the chalkboard out to practice, and then executing it is really the most important part about playing quarterback.
Come on, push it, speed, get in there. Right there, don't fade away from it, stay flat across.
It's been a good week of practice. I've seen an up-tempo in the players. We look like we're getting spring back in our legs, and I think they're excited about playing at home again.
This was a Doc Martin project, and they wanted something a little unconventional, something edgy. I always wanted to do architecture and stuff, and when I came on my visit, I was told that would pretty much be impossible to balance that curriculum with football.
Ben spent 30 hours up in this building working on a project that was due on Friday. He had a game Saturday. I said, Ben, when are you going to sleep? He says, I'll sleep on the bus. And he played. He started on that Saturday.
It's not typical, you know, to play football and then graduate in 3 years or 3.5 years. You know, most people take 5. So I'm actually the first football player to graduate IND, so that's pretty cool, you know, in and of itself.
All right, let's go over these tips. Start with the first one. Same as always, effort. Got to continue to win at home. Cannot afford to lose a game at home. Number 2, physical. The main thing is we got to stop the run. It's a different deal. They're going to run a lot of option. But the bottom line, when the ball snaps, we got to do our damn job and stop the run, right?
Well, on Thursday we used to go out and just polish up on the game plan, but because Syracuse offense gives you so many different plays, and so many different offensive shifts, we probably get after a little more than we normally do and just kind of touch up and make sure everyone knows where they're supposed to be.
Let's go. Here we go. We got jet nut, left, left, left. Here we go. Run it. Here we go. Down. Hurry up, hurry up. Yeah, right there. Good.
I think the goal Saturday is plain and simple, win. No matter what fashion, how it looks, to get a W. Sure, you know, we want to come out, we want to have a solid game. We don't want to turn the ball over on offense. We want to be able to run the ball and then throw the ball when they stack the box.
We're talking football tonight, the entire hour with head coach Tommy Tuberville. He'll be on stage with us.
For us to be successful this year, if we can't run it, we're going to be in trouble. We just have to wait and see what they try, and then if they put 8 or 9 up there, Daniel Cobb's going to have to drop back and sling it.
Hey, I'm Larry Cooper from Auburn, Alabama.
Hey, Larry.
Great win last week, Coach.
Thank you.
And I just wondered, with the Syracuse Orangemen coming to town, do you want the fans to wear orange this week?
Oh, yeah. Let's show them what orange really looks like.
At some point, I'm thinking that the evolution of your quarterback, at some point he's got to make some plays, especially when you get against these guys. Do you see him capable of that?
He's a good athlete. He can run, he can make plays. His only problem is just making a bad decision. All quarterbacks still have to have help. If you're Montana or whoever, you got to have somebody to make you look good when you got the opportunity. And this year he's got a lot better supporting cast than what he had last year.
Cobb's had an amazing story.
It's just a fun time. It's kind of a relaxing time because it's the day before the game. Hay's in the barn, so to speak, and you get to talk about your game plan a little bit to somebody different other than the coaches. And it always kind of relaxes you before you get ready for the game.
You know, our fans come out and they support us, you know, 100%, win, lose, or draw. You know, when they get into the game, you know, we get into the game. When we run out the tunnel, they're out there and they're roaring, and we're fired up, ready to go.
We've been Auburn fans for a long time. We haven't missed a home game, and this is our 8th year, I believe. We were in Tropical Storm Isadora yesterday on the coast. We live in Stapleton, Alabama, which is down on the coast. As soon as it was over, we drove up here. We've been here since Thursday afternoon.
I think our players just get excited about playing in front of their home crowd. We'll have 86,000 people there, most of them dressed in orange. Our Tiger Walk, our Eagle will fly.
Well, this is Tiger, 24-year-old golden eagle housed here at Auburn University. She is an older bird, and she's just not really paying attention to me like she should. So we'll fly a Spirit in her place just to keep the momentum going, and I think people will appreciate this just as much as an American symbol.
Normally, we would start painting on Wednesday, but this week we've been waiting for this rain to move out, so we're doubling up on things and trying to knock it out today. We may have a few little things to touch up in the morning, but we'll basically get it done by the end of the evening tonight.
What am I supposed to get?
I feel pretty good. You know, I think the team is really gelled together, and I think we've had good days of practice, and I think we're ready to play. You know, at night before I go to bed, every Friday night, you know, I call my wife and I call my mother-in-law and just ask them to pray for me.
Stay on ESPN.
You know, my first Tiger walk, you know, it really blew my mind that all these people, you know, were out here cheering for us, walking down the street. And I've never seen anything like that before, so it's great for us. You know, it gets us riled up and gets us ready to go, seeing the fans out there pumped up.
Tag, man, if you got a tag on it, it's at your locker. If you don't have a tag, it's sitting right here.
Come one of those deals where you go in and get taped, then walk one end zone to the other, and kind of the calm before the storm, right? Especially here before all these fans get going.
An American Gold Eagle, the Flying Tigers plays. Spirit's Flight also continues the message of consolation for all birds of prey through the Southeast Nebraska Rehabilitation.
Pitch to Reyes, sweeping to the right. Reyes got some room. He's got 5, 10. He's in the open field across the 50 to 40. He's at the 30. He's at the 20, the 10. He's at the 5. Sidesteps a man, and he is in for the touchdown. Well, folks, we are seeing a big, big surprise unfolding here at Jordan-Hare Stadium tonight.
3rd and long. Auburn needs to make a big stand.
Reaching under, taking the snap, going to fake and roll out to his right and throw. Wallace has it at the 2. He's in. Touchdown, Auburn! Cooper Wallace, redshirt freshman, Nashville, Tennessee. Campbell reaches under, has the snap, and he drops to a knee. And this one will be apparently decided in overtime. Williams again, the only setback. Both ends are split away. There's Cooper Wallace in motion. Reaching under is Campbell. He's going to give it to Williams. Williams trying to outrun the defense. He's to the 5. He's in. Touchdown,
Auburn! We were down 17-0, but we never gave up. And all the hard work we did during the summer, it just paid off in overtime. And we just so fortunate to get the victory.
A lot of character built guys in that second half. It didn't look good the first half, but we kept pounding. You know, we got 17 points down. 17 points down, and we came back and won that ball game. Defense played great the second half. Offense played great. Kicking game came back and played great the second half. We got to do it for 4 quarters. Good job. We got 2 days off. Talk to you coaches when you're going to watch a film. You guys are injured. Make sure you get healthy. 4-1, guys. Let's keep rolling.
That's the best win ever.